Dude, they don't seem at all interested in any of Candace Owens' revelations. It's like one thing if you think someone's crazy, but it's like if someone killed your wife or husband or whatever, like wouldn't you be like, so they didn't look into any foreign ties? Like, why didn't we do that?
Tinfoil hat.
Oh, what the f*** are you guys even talking about?
Global controls will have to be imposed, and a world governing body will be created to enforce them.
Welcome to Tinfoil Hat. We go deep, homeboy. Eric, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
Revolution will be podcasted. All right, welcome to the Wise Wolf Gold and Silver Studios. I'm Sam. Just go to samtripoli.gold, use promo code tinfoil, and you too can get in on the Paris Metals game for as little as $50 a month. Good to be back. Took a little break, needed to take off, and now we're back supercharged and just kicking in the door, blazing the 4-4 with our next guest. Very excited to have him on. He's on a historic run. Been getting on all the big podcasts. Good to see that happen. You know him to know him is to love him. Owen Benjamin, how are you, buddy?
Dude, I'm great, man. You have a very strong mustache. It makes me feel very comfortable.
Well, you're safe, dude. I got the perimeter locked down.
It really does make you feel that way. When a guy's got a well-manicured, strong stash, you're just like, things are going to be okay.
Yeah, it's a fun. The reaction has been pretty sweet. My dad had a mustache his whole life, so I decided to try it. And, you know, I got the tombstone look where I keep a little stubble down here.
Strong.
Yeah, that's how I'm going. Like a little Law and Order in the West. That's what we're doing. Oh, and for those who live under a rock and don't know you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, where our listeners can find you?
Dude, at this point, I don't even know how to describe what I do for, like, I don't even know. I sound like I'm in the mob. I'm like, yeah, I do what has to get done each day. Like, I have a farm stand. I wrote a book. I'm a classical piano player. I do comedy. I farm. I'm into anti-Semitic gardening. Like, I don't even know what I am.
I can't wait to find out what is anti-Semitic gardening. What is that?
No, but that was like one of the first things one of the sketches we did like 8 years ago. It was anti-Semitic gardening with Owen Benjamin. It would just be me gardening, and then I just start freaking out about the Federal Reserve. And then I just go back to gardening, and I just start freaking out about war. And it was just like really happy music. It was just like, I don't know, it was pretty funny.
So you and I are on the deeper ends into conspiracy. You may even go a little deeper than I do. And I don't know how often you run into normies. Is it crazy that people still use the term conspiracy theorist as almost like a slur?
Well, yeah, that's the funniest thing about the conspiracy theorist is it's only a slur if you take it that way.
Yeah,
like,
I agree, dude.
It really, like, it is an accurate thing. I theorize about conspiracies.
You believe people conspire.
Yes, like the government has laws to put people who conspire in jail. And when you're figuring out who's conspiring, they start as theories.
It is weird that people don't believe that shit. It's like, I just did a podcast over the weekend at the Joke World Festival in Florida, and it was a lot of fun. And these guys just brought me on to talk conspiracies and like basic shit that we've been talking about for years. They were just laughing and blown away and thinking I'm crazy. And it was a fun interview. I'm not saying it was a bad interview at all, but it was a lot of fun. But it is crazy that, you know, like one guy was like straight up, like love the mainstream media. And it's like, and my girlfriend, she thinks because she watches Newsmax, like she's broken out of the Matrix. And I'm like, you know, listen to Cuomo. I'm like, the guy just straight up lied to you for years. And now because he's on a different channel, you think he's legit now. And it's just like, how often do they have to lie to you for you to start going, maybe these guys don't know what they're talking about?
Have you seen the movie The Sheep Detective?
No, but I saw the ads for it.
Bro, it's no joke. It's like more of a truther movie than They Live. It's like a kids movie too. It accurately describes the quote unquote sheeple so well because it doesn't demean them, but it kind of shows what it is, that they get scared and then they choose to forget. And they keep doing that until like their shepherd is murdered and they realize they love him enough to not forget. It's like a profound movie, dude. It's like, that's how I view a lot of people now. It's just like they get scared and they just choose to forget. Like, because a lot of times for me, I'm like, remember this just happened 2 years ago. Like, we remember? And they're like, no. They're like, we don't remember. I'm like, no, we just went through this. This is like a broken record.
Yeah, and they running the same gameplay over and over again. You know, you bring up like a kids movie. I love spending time. Get my kid off their pad. I'll watch movies with them. And we were watching Captain Underpants. And I'm watching this movie and I'm just like, oh my God, it's literally MK Ultra. They're literally teaching kids MK Ultra. And it's the story of these two students who get in a ton of trouble and to get out of it, they hypnotize their principal and they just turn him into a complete insane person who runs around town in his underwear acting like he's a superhero. And it's the ring they use is the pedophile symbol to put this guy under a trance, and he just thinks he's a superhero, which is like the story of everyone who's ever been MK Ultra. You either think you're like a super born identity agent, which you might have fighting skills, or you're some kind of MK Ultra sex kid, and you just get manipulated into doing things you wouldn't normally do. And it's like right there in front of you. And like I've been working on this bit for a while. It's kind of as you get older. Not every reference the younger generation's going to get, but I've been talking about Mary Poppins and how like it was sold to us as this magical nanny, and it's like straight up like witchcraft, and like she's a fallen angel. She falls out of sky, uses like doesn't even teach the kids how to clean their room. She just summons demons to do the cleaning of the room, and then takes the kids to the park to do fucking drugs with homeless people, in which they think they're flying on a flying like carousel. And then there's literally like Eyes Wide Shut scene at the bank where they sacrifice the banker. And then the guy does a humiliation ritual at the end where he's singing and dancing in the middle of the street. It's like straight up demonic. And we just look at it like as this loving childhood movie that we all loved as kids. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, man.
Yeah, cocaine. They're like telling them take blow, dude. It's like crazy to me.
Well, that's why I wrote the book that came out recently, the How to Slay a Wizard. I break down how to look at spells and how that all works, because I think a lot of people could benefit from just understanding how a spell works and how many there are. Like what you just described is a total spell. And putting those memories in your head, and also making you think that that's the nonsense, right? Like Monsters, Inc. is a similar kids movie where it's about, all these archetypes, all these monsters. Like
adrenochrome and shit.
Yeah. They scare kids and then suck the essence of the fear out of them. And then, the Federal Reserve is running out of fuel and they need more fear and more fear and more fear. And then one of the monsters, falls in love with a child. It's crazy, and then kidnaps the child from the family. And I mean, if you go back and watch Hook, I think Captain Hook was the good guy.
Yeah, there's a real argument he's the good guy and Peter Pan's the bad guy.
Peter Pan literally makes Jeffrey Epstein look like Marcus Aurelius. It's like you got Tinkerbell is Ghislaine Maxwell. The children never grow old because they die. Like they feed them to alligators.
Or they come back as literal asses. That's the whole thing. In the middle of the bar, he goes, we take them to this island and they come back as asses.
Oh, is that Pinocchio or is that Hook?
Yeah, that's Pinocchio. You're right.
Pinocchio is about a group of people who, when they lie, their noses get bigger. And so it's pretty funny, man.
I want to say something to you, Owen. You are the only one of the group of guys who kind of took a big hit on what was labeled as anti-Semitism for a long time. You took a big hit on that. You kind of got excommunicated from a lot of shit. But you're the only one I've seen that has not aligned himself with TPUSA now with this Charlie Kirk shit. All these other guys that were like made their bones on the Kabbalah and Zionism and all this shit back when it was like what we call dangerous. They're safe, dangerous, like talking about like Fauci and COVID. When that was acceptable, that became safe, dangerous, right?
I think there's something going on with this John F. Kennedy assassination.
Yeah, right. So, but like you're literally the only one out of that entire crew that hasn't aligned themselves with that entire group of guys who are just banned from the internet, that has not lined themselves with TPUSA and the majority of these Zionist people. What are your thoughts on all that?
Yeah, shout out to Coach Colin. Pointed that
great.
out too. He's great. He pointed out that I was like one of the guys not trying to get back in because I didn't do the anti-Semitism thing to get popular clicks. Like I had a successful career. For me, it was about, I'm like, it's not autism, but it's like, I got these principles and I'm like, if I'm going to make fun of Christians, I have to make fun of Jews and Muslims. Like I can't take sides to the point where I'll like, same with like some certain words. I'm like, if I ban any words, it's like banning a color as a painter. Like I can't do that. And so I didn't do it to get attention or to like, because I hate Jewish people. You know, it was like I was pointing out AIPAC and like the Sackler family and all, like just obvious things. And I was going at the liability shield. I was going at like this thing that means you can't ever criticize bad behavior because of victim consciousness. So when the smoke cleared, I'm not chasing that world. Like I genuinely was like really upset about the opioid deaths and trans kids. Like I had a chip on my shoulder for a bit. I got a little bit, understandably paranoid, but like I always had good intentions. And so, a lot of my life is just like my family, farming, teaching piano. So it's like, I just try to do what's right and what's funny, and so as the smoke cleared, I'm like, yeah, Candace Owens is crushing. Like I became like a fan of Candace Owens. Like I used to think she was like the biggest shill. I used to make fun of her all the time. And I'm like, oh, turns out she's great.
Yeah.
Like I don't care. Like I don't hold grudges or anything. I'm like, dude, I used to make fun of her so hard because I thought she was PragerU's and Ben Shapiro's little mascot.
And she may have been at one point.
But innocently, though, I think it was innocent. Kind of like how I used to write for Steven Crowder and I used to like, there's like an innocent way, which I think she was, versus the cynical, like what we're seeing now with these people going all Zio war, Trump's crushing. It's just like crazy.
It's very weird to me. It's very weird because, there's this whole notion that in order to pass anti-Semitism laws, we need anti-Semitism. And that's why, like, when I bring up how all these other guys have just flipped, it's like, well, did you just fulfill a role at that point? Were you fulfilling a role of ramping up the anti-Semitism? And now that's kind of everyone's like kind of going, dude, what the is this bullshit? Now you're
That's
kind
a
of
good
flipping
theory.
to the other side. It's just
theory.
like people you would never guess that would be aligning with Erica Kirk and all those fucking obvious like paid influencers of TPUSA are just totally deep throating this trans furry shit. And it's like, listen, it's possible, but it's like if you study any of this these high impact events, and particularly assassinations, there's always a hidden hand. And it's just crazy to me that just saying that this seems like what we've seen before, people are just losing their fucking minds. And it's just like, I don't understand it. It's very weird.
Yeah, it might be a money thing. It's also like what Coach Colin was saying, that the exiled, they yearn to get back into Greece. Like Socrates called it the prison of nostalgia, where they're like, I want to be the special boy again. I want people to like me, and I just don't have that. I mean, I want people to like me, but it's just like, I think they're just like, because it does suck. Like you faced backlash before. It's like, it sucks being like ridiculed and called evil in media and stuff. And you're just like, uncle, like, what can I say to make it stop? Do I say Erica Kirk is grieving differently by bragging about merch sales? Like, well, And the devil hates his servants. They never let you back. Like, they never really let you back in because they know you know. So it's like, there's no faking it. Like, once you're on your knees, you're not ever coming off those knees. And it's like, and why? It's like, there's no point. It's not even, the world's not as scary as I once thought. It's like, I mean, it's horrifying, don't get me wrong, but it's always the internal struggle of like lying to myself or my own cowardice or something. It's not external.
And it is that, they have been talking about this everything forever. Like the rapture is every 2 weeks and stuff like that. And it never does happen because it's incremental, tiny steps. I mean, I do think a digital prison is coming. And what does that mean? Like, and you always hear like America's going to fall, the empire, but what does that actually mean when someone says the empire is going to fall? Because the country and the community and the people and the empire are two different things. Like Rome fell, Italy's still there. Russia fell, Russia's still there. China fell, China's still there. What does that mean? What does it mean when the empire? Because I think there's this like belief system that a total annihilation is going to happen, which it could happen.
No chance.
It doesn't. I don't see that in history where, unless it's like a major like event where asteroids or a giant asteroid hits the planet and we have a younger Dryas again. That doesn't see outside of that. I don't see where. What's on the other side of that?
I think it's about identity. Yeah, it's like people's identity is apocalyptic, where it's like patriot, American, like empire, like all these things. My buddy has a joke about a lot of Italians during World War II. It's like before Mussolini, he was like, my impression of an Italian before Mussolini, ciao. My impression of an Italian after Mussolini, ciao. It's like, yeah, but if your identity is Mussolini, your world has ended. It's like people, like I wanted to do a sketch where it's Game of Thrones, but it's just dudes growing potatoes and just kind of hearing stuff about a crazy bitch, because that's true. It's like, because I'm not identified with politics. I'm not identified with, that's why I always make fun of race and all this stuff. I always make fun of like identity, like these false identities that people put out. And if you don't really have a lot of those, or if you just kind of make fun of yours, like, if I had pride in farmer or homesteader, like, and if someone made fun of that, that would actually be a service to me, because my ego wouldn't build up where I think I'm someone I'm not,
Yeah, I agree with that. You brought this a little earlier, but it's like these protected classes. It's like after World War II, obviously Jewish people. And then in the 80s, a protected bubble was put over gays, blacks, women, that if you made any kind of criticism from the outside, you were labeled a hate monger. And I've said this before, but it's really dangerous for those groups because they become the most extreme version of themselves without outside criticism. It's like my friend Scott Ross said this a long time ago about why men in prison are the most extreme version of themselves. There's violence and all that stuff. It's because there's no women in there doing any kind of like reinforcing and punishing behavior. And that's what kind of happens. So we get into this BLM shit, Zionism, fourth wave feminism, queer theory, because you can't criticize. No one can check you at all. I'm going, hey, dude, you're entering cuckoo land. And something that you just said is, and this is kind of where I am and been there for a little while, is that no one's above criticism or comedy. And don't put a gun to my head for 20 years about diversity and DEI and all that shit, and then get mad that I point out funny things I see in diversity. It's not all just sunshine and blue skies. There's like, they do retarded shit, and I'm not going to take your gaslighting. And I think it's better for them. I think, when people start talking about black fatigue, right, that starts to put pressure on the black community to stop acting like crazy people out all the time. And you can get mad at that statement, and maybe that's Twitter just feeding us the worst of this, but they are happening. And, like back in the day, there was a comedy union on Pico.
I've done that. I've done the comedy union.
And Mixed Nuts It used to be Mixed Nuts, and then Mixed Nuts, the owner said, I'm moving. He moved deeper into the valley, and I mean, deeper into the hood. And I literally have black comics going, I'm not going out there. I'll get fucking shot. And it's, why is that? Why is
That's
that?
hilarious.
Right. I have a friend of mine whose girlfriend told him the biggest problem in America is white supremacy. And I'm like, well, then why does everybody want to live in a white neighborhood?
Well, yeah, the lies people tell themselves are the most dangerous. You know, I like the AA thing of you're only as sick as your secrets, but I think you're only as sick as your lies. You know, and so when you lie to yourself, like what you just described, I think not giving someone comedy, like being able to make fun of their identity, is actually extremely cruel. You know, I make fun of dudes in wheelchairs, veterans, all of it. You know, like Veterans Day, I'm always like, haven't you guys been given enough? You know, I just make fun of them. I'm just like, you guys got to get free drugs, shoot anyone you want. If you really laid it on the line, it would be Memorial Day, you know, but you had to come home like a coward. Or like, no, I know, but they're like, thank you, dude. Because it's like the pedestal, you know, like I have so many vet friends. Me and my brother used to do, he would do this thing we called trehab, where in Saranac Lake, my brother's a tree worker. And they go to rehab for like opioids or something, coming home from extreme combat, and it wouldn't work. But if they did like a lot of work, like a lot of like mission focused, high stakes, like exhausting work, they could get off heroin, you know? And we were always joking about that stuff. He's like, bro, I've killed so many people. Some of them I've like, they can't let that out if everyone's just like, thank you for your service. You know, if I'm going to make fun of you and myself and everybody, like, why wouldn't I let in a handicap guy?
Right.
It's like, you really need the space at Home Depot. You're in a little throne just gliding around while a mother with a bunch of kids has to walk from the back because you got shot in the back buying crack in Baltimore. Now, you know, and they're just crying, laughing because or if I'm like, at least help out, like put a lawnmower blade under the wheelchair. You know, I'm like, you can still be part of society.
Yeah,
and it's, yeah.
I do think it's you know, when I remember one time at the Comedy Store, I'd walked in and the energy in the OR was really weird, and I walked to the booth and I go, what's going on? It's weird in here. They're like, there's a blind guy heckling everybody. And
I used to love that shit.
I used to, and I would just I was watching it, and Brett Ernst walked up, and this guy starts telling him he sucks, and Brett starts laying into him, and someone yells, he's blind, and Brett's like, I'm sorry, man, I'm sorry. I go, dude, this guy heckles me, I'm gonna murder this motherfucker.
Yes.
So I walk up, I just start killing him. Then his wife starts jumping in. I start killing her. Half the crowd hates me. Half the crowd is loving it. And I get off stage, and guess what? The blind guy wants to take a picture with me.
Of course. It was the best day of his life. Dude, I was a heckler at a Renaissance festival. That was my job, dude. It's like, in like high school, I'd have like head and arms out of a stock and thousands of tomatoes a day where I just have to go person to person to person. Your mom wants to have sex with me. You're fat, blah, blah, blah. And dude, it was like an exorcism. And because I was always trying to beat the joust. You know, I wanted more people than the joust. And like sometimes it would get really wild. And dude, they want that. They don't want to be hated. They don't want you to like pick them out and like embarrass them. But if you know, boundaries are really good for people. You know, it's like someone's heckling, just, you know, you got, if you don't push back.
The people who have it too good, they get really upset. They get really upset because they don't have anything in their life that gives them purpose. So they have to find it. And it's like, it's really crazy that like people like Malcolm X and people like the Unabomber said, hey man, the white progressive is the most dangerous person in the world because they'll lie to your face. And it's the old saying, like, you know, it's like Republicans are openly racist, secretly gay, and progressives are openly gay, secretly
so
racist.
True. That's so
right?
true. Yeah.
And that's why they really feel bad for these people. They don't, dude, if you really like, you've been doing comedy. You make fun of your kids. You make fun of your wife, your girlfriend. You make fun of your mother, your father. You make fun of people you love. I mean, if I make fun of all these people, why can't I make fun of all these other people? If the people I hold dear to my heart, people I'd step in front of a bus to save, Why can't I make fun of these other people?
And that's the thing is you just might not be allowed on PayPal for a few years.
Yeah.
But don't you feel like that's kind of over though? It's weird. Like the gates are
It cost
down.
them a lot. They lost a lot of business. And when they did that, they allowed competitors to thrive.
And culture change too. Like I just don't feel it anymore. Like even people that used to be like real freaked out about me are like, hey, how you doing, man? Like I think they can feel that I don't have any resentment or anything. And they're just like, it just feels like a weight's been lifted.
Well, it's like everybody's come around to you. And, like I told you at Bohemian Grove, I always used to really get perturbed when people would say you failed in Hollywood because you had an extraordinary career. I mean, you were we both came from upstate New York. To come into upstate New York and be in a major movie, to be in a major television show, and to have specials on TV, most people don't understand how hard that is. Like how incredibly difficult that is. I think if people really understood how much the game is rigged against you when you come to LA, and to achieve any of that shit is incredible. You did 10 times more than I did. Like it wasn't even, I got one like non-union TV show. Guys, listen, I'm 53. I'm a dad. I stick a fork in me. Okay. Do I want to look great? I don't know. But you know what? Quince won't let me not look good. They're constantly putting out the best clothes. I put it on. I look like I'm on a mission. Okay. To just rock and roll. All right. I can't tell you how good I look in Quince, especially the shirts. It shaves my chi-chis down. Okay. I don't even look like I have man tits. Okay. I love Quince. You'll love Quince. So August is the perfect time to hit the reset before the autumn rush begins. And honestly, I can't think of a better place to start than my closet. That's why I love shopping at Quince.
Quince specializes in everyday staples that work harder, like their ultra soft cotton tees and premium Mongolian cashmere sweaters. They're versatile, timeless, and transition seamlessly from a casual workday to dinner out. If you're still hanging on to those same worn out basics, Quince makes it easy to upgrade. They have premium denim and tailored chinos for just $60 with the kind of perfect fit, structure, and high quality fabrics you'd expect from a luxury designer brand. Everything at Quince is priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. They work directly with ethical factories and cut out the middlemen, so you're paying for high quality, not brand markup.
And again, I tell you, I perform in Quince shirts when I do stand up. It's when I want to look my best. And I got some bad angles, and they make me look good. I stand by Quince, okay? So here's what I want to tell you, man. And it's not just clothing. Quince has become my go-to for everything from hotel quality bedding. Oh, I love it. And bath essentials to premium cookware and travel must-haves. It's your one-stop shop, people. All right? Upgrade your everyday. Download the Quince app for app exclusive offers or go to quince.com/tinfoilhat. Get free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Man, that's all year, okay? And guess what? We got good news to our friends in the North, our brothers and sisters. They're now available in Canada and the UK. My God.
Wow.
Quince is everywhere. And dude, they're just busting out. That's QUINCE.com/tinfoil hat. All right. And we thank them for sponsoring the show. Hey guys, real quick, I'll tell you about our good friends at Helix Sleep. Listen, I've been loving my Midnight Luxe mattress I got from Helix Sleep about 6 years ago. Heaven, okay? It's one of the best mattresses I've ever slept on. And if you're having trouble sleeping, maybe it's your mattress. That's why you should go to our good friends at helixsleep.com/tinfoil, and you could find the perfect mattress for yourself, okay? You take a quick quiz, and they pair you up with the best mattress you could ever find. Johnny loves his. He can't stop talking about it.
That's
every time
true. Yeah.
Johnny comes in every day, he's like, I just love it. It's so amazing. Blessings, dude. I love it. It's wonderful. I sleep through the whole night like a baby, dude. And that's why you got to check out Helix Sleep. Helix delivers your mattress right to your door with free shipping in the U.S. 120-night sleep trial and limited lifetime warranty. The Happy with Helix guarantee. Rest easy with seamless returns and exchanges. The Happy with Helix guarantee offers risk-free, customer-first experience designed to ensure your complete satisfaction with your mattress, your new mattress, okay? And it's award winning. Helix is the most awarded mattress brand, tested and reviewed by experts like Forbes and Wired. So here's what we need you to do. Just go to Helix, HELIX sleep.com/tinfoil for, dude, this is crazy. 27% off site wide with their Labor Day best of web. That's right. That's 27% off site wide. That's helixsleep.com/tinfoil for their Labor Day best of web, 27% off site wide. So just make sure you enter the show when you check out so they know we sent you. Again, that's helixsleep.com/tinfoil. Enjoy your sleep, folks.
A lot of people don't want to admit they're being a coward or they're like being a liar. So they have to justify it by being like, oh no, he ate one pot brownie with Joey Diaz, went insane, ran away, and he was never really a comedian. Because if not, people have to admit like, I just don't want to do the Caitlyn Jenner or the joke because I like money. And that's why I almost like those guys even better. Like when I was watching the Candace Owens, Patrick Bet-David, the Candace Owens, Andrew Wilson debate, Patrick Bet-David is so clearly self-interested that like I almost think he's fine. He's just like, listen, this is a very good product. I'm really looking to make some money. And I'm like, dude, go for it. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's like the progressive thing we're just talking about. Just be you, man. Don't pretend that you're something you're not. You know, it's like,
you notice those guys call their listeners the market. They don't call people who listen to.
Dude,
they call it, well, the market has responded and said that.
No, openly they called the debate. Patrick Bet-David called the debate before it started a product.
he's such a weird guy.
He's like, we have a wonderful product for you, you know. And I'm like, okay, that's the Persian guy selling the rug, and I'm into it. You know, it's the people, because like when my manager dropped me for crushing too hard, he was fine. My agent pretended I was evil, and I knew he knew I wasn't. And that I was like, dude, this is sick. Like I didn't even say this because they don't care. You know, there's a narcissistic bubble. But my manager, I still can talk to him because he's just like, dude, I don't know what to do. I get all these calls. I'm like, I get it. You know, just don't pretend that something's is what it isn't. Like, you know, I mean,
like how much of that, like I understand what they're saying, but at the same time, like how much of these calls actually mean anything? How much of these calls are like, oh, I'm gonna fucking not gonna frequent your, I'm not gonna do business with you. Like I have a good friend of mine right now that is getting murdered for calling a white guy the M-word, and he called a white guy the M-word, and these people are calling up comedy clubs and canceling him.
Oh yeah.
But my question is to the comedy club, how many of those people actually come to your club?
Yeah, no, they're in fear. I think a lot of it is just debt. It's when you're in an unpayable amount of debt. I think that world is so scary where it's like if they miss 1 week, if there's one scandal, it's like they lose everything immediately in their mind because that's everything to them. To me, everything is for me, my reputation, my word, my honor is more important than money, but that's just because I watched what money can do to people. You know, growing up, I just saw how it like can really shred someone. So I just, I have compassion for them because it's just dumb. It's
I do understand that. I do understand that, like, as a comic is passing through a market, they're passing through, and the club is still there. But the question becomes like, are you really servicing your clientele?
Well, no, I mean, if it was a real free market, no, they'd be like the best comedy club, like anyone that didn't cuck or any business that stayed open with COVID. But it's kind of like the comics that are trying to get Netflix specials. They're not trying to get the laughs from the crowd. They're trying to get the laughs from the executive in the back.
That's exactly it, dude. I mean, that is what happened. You know, and I'm still in LA, regrettably. I'm figuring out way out as we speak. But, you know, it's like this town no longer pushes culture. Like there was a time where it was super interesting. Dude. We had a great time. It didn't used to be like this. Yeah.
Dude, Tim Dillon nailed it when he was like, Iran, the whole world just saw that we can't kill anybody anymore. Yeah. And then he goes, we got to get real entertaining again.
No, which I totally agree.
No, dude, he nailed it. He's like, we got to be like fun with like good music again. And like, yeah, we got to like make fun culture and be like cool dudes to hang with, because Iran was such a debacle. Like, there's no nukes. I hate to break it to everybody, but like, there's no nukes. You don't think Trump and Netanyahu would have dropped it? They're like, we're going to burn them for like, it's going to be like World War II.
Ever, dude.
Dude, it's one of the biggest psyops and it's so obvious that it's like, but some people can't. They're like, but so many people would have to be in on it. I'm like, that is not true. Like, you could guard a box for 30 years. Like, you've never seen a nuclear bomb explode. Hiroshima and Nagasaki have no fallout. They weren't even in the top 10 most destroyed cities. You know, in Nevada, like your buddy's in Vegas right now. It's like they were watching mushroom clouds. Like, there's no radiation. And people are like, well, what does that matter? I'm like, that's the only thing that makes it a nuclear bomb, or else it's just a bomb.
Yeah, I always say big bombs go boom. I'm like, why did they move right back in? Johnny brings up picture. They have like blue wolves now in Chernobyl, but that's about it. I mean,
Chernobyl actually, like, extinct animals came back. It's like a nature preserve.
Yeah, it's like crazy to me. So I want to get into, because you know, I don't want to.
Because I'm from Oswego. You know Oswego. We had 3 nuke plants. We used to swim in the water because it was warmer. It's like, it's just heat.
It's so true, dude. That guy that built all the plants said we used to swim in the water. He ate uranium.
Yeah. No, dude, I was raised with this stuff. A bunch of my buddies worked at nuke plants, and they're like retarded. And they're just like, yeah, dude, it just boils and shit. They're just like, it's not anything. Like, my town had those Homer Simpson nukes, like 3 of them, just huge white clouds coming up all day long. There's not even a higher cancer rate, and everyone's drunk all the time. It's like, it's just not a real thing.
But it's a great way to scare people.
Yeah.
It's a great way to keep people in line. Like, you know, it's like, oh my God, nuclear bombs. We got to stop Iran. But hey, North Korea somehow can figure it out. Like, how does North Korea figure out a fucking nuclear bomb?
Dude,
Iran can't.
Dude, it does. I used to be in a podcast at Caltech with nuclear physicists. And dude, it's just not a real thing. They're like, it's best to just act like it's real. It's like game theory. Nuclear energy is super real. Nuclear energy is super real, and it's great. But like the bomb, it was called Fat Man and Little Boy, and it was dropped by the Enola Gay, which is alone backwards. Enola, E-N-O. It's alone and gay, and they're like little bombs, and it's the Fat Man and the Little Boy. It's just like a pedo joke.
What do you think? So what's to stop Iran from just saying we have one? Like, if that's what North Korea is doing, actually, what's to stop Iran from? Why won't they just say, hey,
this is how it works psychologically, because like in our mind we think Iran talks, right? Because people would always say this about the moon landing. Why wouldn't Russia tell us blah blah blah? It's like, who? What interest? Like, think about how hard it is.
Oligarchies help oligarchies.
Exactly. Yeah. Me and if I have a farm and my neighbor has a farm, even if we're competing, we're not with the cows. You know what I mean? They're like, at no point are they we're just going to spill the beans on one of our mine weapons, like to the cows. No, you could fight about grain and fight about pasture and all that, but like, it's not like we're going to align with the cow.
No, but what I mean is, do you think Iran thinks that they are trying to get a nuke, or do they know they're not?
I think that the actual nuke, I think they use kind of like, I don't think it's all just a lie. I think it's just kind of about something else, because the petrodollar is based on oil. So it's like, what would the nuke really be? I think nuclear energy is actually an economic nuke. So it's like if somebody's developing nuclear power or anything like Gaddafi, like anything that went against the dollar, that's like a weapon of mass destruction. And there's something to be said for that. Like if the dollar falls.
But also, Owen, like, if there is going to be a new world order, everybody wants a seat there. Like, Russia wants a seat there, China wants a seat there, and Iran wants a seat there. And Iran is making money selling oil to China.
They're crushing.
Everybody in America that's in oil is making more fucking money. The gas you're pumping right now, that oil was fucking pulled out a year ago or 2 years ago, way before any of this bullshit ever happened. So it's just made up, man. It's just the Saudis aren't even real Saudis. They're fucking British. They were put in there by the monarchy. It's just total bullshit, dude.
Yeah, it's narratives to justify economic shifts because it's like feminism was a way to justify we're going to put your moms to work, where it's like, yeah, we're going to put all your moms to work because the dollar's losing value. But guess what? It's because you're so strong. And then they're just like, yes, I'm a strong
think about
person.
That, like how to convince somebody to go against their biological drive and to be like, I'm not a baby factory. You literally are. I hate to tell you that. That's why you bleed once a month. Like that's what you're built to do. And for you to like convince yourself that isn't what will make you happy. Yeah, having kids is work, dude. It's work. You're domesticating wild animals. And like we have a prison system full of wild animals that never got domesticated and learned how to play the game of life. So that's your job. So those moments are hard, but it's those magical moments that make it all fucking worthwhile. And to have old feminists like Chelsea Handler is on this scorch the earth tour to convince everybody she's fucking happy.
Yeah, that's the thing is it's what we were talking about earlier. It's like the lies you tell yourself are the worst lies because it just ends up not working. You're just not functional. She's like, no, I'm happy. Look at me. 85% of us are on tons of drugs so we don't off ourselves, and we got an adopted little kitten instead of a baby, and we have so much guilt around abortion that we're trying to tell everybody else to have one. It's like, but I say N-word instead of the bad word, so I'm good.
Unbelievable, dude. The N-word drives me. My whole job, you started it, and I've kind of picked up the mantle with you.
Well done.
It's just to like kill that fucking word. Just kill the fucking word.
Kill the word. Because, the Chris Rock joke was so accurate. It's one reason why I just get so bummed sometimes. Not really anymore, but when he's like, I love black people, but I hate, and then, he's showing, because it's cruel to say, because people are like, oh, 50% of the murders or 13% of blah, blah, blah. I'm like, now people think it's just blacks are just always violent. I'm like, no, every white isn't fat at Walmart covered in Mountain Dew. Like, we call that white trash.
100%.
And so if you don't have that subgroup that you can be like, no, I'm not like that. I take accountability. I don't have victim consciousness. Then like, it's cruel. It's cruel to do that. It's cruel to say, oh, they can't hear a word. They're such animals. They'll just explode. It's like, okay.
I want to get into a couple things with you. What is your theory? I've been seeing it on the internet. You think they ate Charlie Kirk for real?
Dude, at first it was about a 1%. It was like a joke. I was like kind of being funny. The reaction was so, because you know how a joke, if people are reacting like it isn't even in the, like that it's in the realm of reality and hate, it's like, oh, dude, you ate Charlie Kirk. Because it's like a joke is like, you have reality and then you have the extreme. You have the exaggeration, the satire, whatever. Because my first joke was them saying basically you have to prove that Tyler Robinson isn't guilty, which is inverted. America, it's innocent till proven guilty. So I was like, prove that you didn't eat Charlie Kirk. Like I was kind of joking. And then I started seeing these clips of like that one dude on Sean Ryan when he's like, and the blood was in my mouth and I tasted it. And he's like rubbing his lips and stuff. And they gave Sean Ryan's show like a piece of Charlie Kirk's blood as like a keepsake, and they were like, "We're good." And you just keep hearing stuff like, "His brains are in you now" from The Widow, and it's like, you know as well as I do that when people go way off the path, the whole world just starts eating people. I mean, it's like they think there's some kind of magic or power in that, like all around the world. And I'd give it about 15%, but it was 1%. And now I think that they might have eaten Charlie Kirk. Yeah.
So the big thing is that a Bohemian Grove, I heard there was like some cop there that was just freaking the fuck out that you guys were talking about that.
Yeah, and we're being super funny about it. I like said what I just said. I wasn't like, they definitely ate Charlie Kirk. I was like, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. So that cop has definitely seen dead kids in traffic,
You're so
accidents.
right, dude.
It's like, but he can't hear a funny dude talk about maybe they ate, because his identity as a police officer, like he can't possibly even think about that and still be, MAGA, red pill, not red. What would his identity be? Like, Trump, Fox News. Like he can't possibly, if he's even close to being like a, bless Israel and God blesses you guy, like one of those guys, like one of those Zionist guys. Dude, hearing what I was saying, the reason he's so angry is because it's not out of the realm of possibility. It's like deep down, he knows it doesn't really make sense. Like I remember when people used to say, I can't believe that you've ever made fun of, or haven't they been through enough? And I would always go, so you're telling me they're never up to anything?
Yeah, that's the whole thing, dude.
Like they're pure as the driven snow. Like they have a word called chutzpah, which just means like hardcore ballsy lies to get money or ass. I'm like, you're telling me they're never up to anything ever. And they're just like, I'm not saying they're the root of evil or anything. I'm just saying like, you're telling me you don't know a that's like needs to be made fun of for like his antics.
I mean, Ari's whole fucking special was just calling out shit. And he got a lot of shit. They didn't want him to do that special, and he did it anyways because he doesn't give a shit. But again, dude, it's this whole thing where it's like, I got this project that's working on, and we're meeting with a couple people, and I just know they're gonna go to my Twitter and just be like, "You hate," and I'm like, "I don't. I've been living with it."
It's changing now, though, man. I'm telling you, there's almost as much of a chance that they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, we're making this. You get it." Yeah. Like, dude, the whole world's changing. And back then, I even told people, I'm like, dude, just admit you're like annoying femmy, like pussy, like mama's boys. Like that's the whole joke. I'm like, if not, they're going to think you're like the devil eating their kids.
But it's also that like, if you think things are going to shit, right? Let's just say the average person is watching the news all the time.
Yeah.
And they're like, the world's going to shit. You're like, the world isn't as scary as I used to think it is. But a lot of people think it's super scary.
Super scary.
You're never going to fix anything.
No.
If you bring emotion to everything you fucking do. Like if I go, here's a problem, right? The Zohar and the Talmud have some pretty weird shit in it, and your first reaction is, oh, that's anti-Semitism. It's nothing ever changes. And it's like my big thing on the internet is like when especially Jewish women say crazy shit about white people, about they shouldn't have kids, they shouldn't do any of this stuff, I just retweet it. And people can get that, think that's anti-Semitism, even though I don't understand it because it's a quote.
Dude, the thing that would always get me pissed off is like I would quote their brags and then people would be like, you're full of hate. Dude, Dennis Prager was like, every ism is us, feminism, communism, socialism, every ism. And I'm like, every ism. And they're like, oh, how dare you? I'm like, this is the problem. And that's why it's kind of backfiring now. It's backfiring in a major way to the point where I called it years ago. I'm like, I'm going to be the one defending the deli. I'm like, you have war, sodomy Jews, deli Jews. And so you got, the left Marxist sodomy, this big power. And that you do also just have that with the deli. That's just like a normal guy. 100%. And he's going to be holding the bag. Like that's always what happens.
And again, it's like, if you're like white supremacy is a problem, if you're like Sharia law, if I go, hey man, does the Catholic Church have a pedophile problem? Most people would say yeah. If I go, Muslims have a terrorist problem, most people would say yeah. What about the or Christian nationalism? Even though I don't know what that means, but that's
there's some annoying guys. It's like there's guys, but they're like nothing. They don't really do much. They're just the ones that are like, oh, white brother. That's a weakness too, because you're like, if you put any identity over actual competence, honor, like being good at something, you're gonna lose to the other guy. I just want it, and I live it, where it's like, if it turns out it's a bunch of white people, that's not a negative. It's like, yeah, we like playing croquet. We're not gonna force a Japanese guy to do it.
Right. And I also say this, but to finish my thought is that if you're okay with all these other major religions and pointing out their major flaws,
Right, right.
which is everywhere on the internet all the time, you can't. The third one of the big three, you're not allowed to point out.
Right, which is the worst one. I remember, like in Hollywood, I was pointing out pedos, and people called me anti-Semitic, and I literally didn't even put it together. I was so innocent. I was like, just naming guys. How is he still working at Nickelodeon? Blah blah blah. And people are like, "Oh, you just hate." I'm like, "Holy shit, they're all."
Well, I mean, Larry David. That's a famous fucking monologue on Saturday Night Live.
What do you say?
He goes, they all seem to be and everyone laughs really loud. And but if anyone else says that, and again, it's like there's comics out there. I'm not going to say their name because I don't.
Dude, I'm getting better at that. By the way, I'm fine with describing behavior and not using an example. Like
I'm
the worst at that, dude. I'm just like, oh yeah, this guy.
Like Twitter beefs.
Not really. I've actually pulled back on that. I try to, unless it's just like someone who's just sucks and it's just like, and they started and it's like funny. I'm actually trying to be a little more diplomatic where I'm just like, oh yeah, people who do this. I don't have to actually like say anyone's name. Anyway, go on.
But there's this, there's a couple conks, again, not getting into their names, that just made their bones off of racking on everybody. Like the safe, dangerous targets.
Dude, so good.
And I think I would say he probably really hates those people. But I make fun of everybody and I don't hate anybody.
I don't hate anybody either.
It's like I flunked first grade, dude. It's like when you talk about the definition of racism, they only do the first part of the definition, about basically being bigoted, but they don't do the second part, which is that to believe that you're better than everybody. And I'm like, I'm not better than anybody.
You mean a chosen person?
Yeah. Well, dude, that's what I want to get into a lot. So one of the things that my belief is that the Big Bang Theory comes from the Zohar. And it's the moment where God puts all of his energy into the tree of life. This is in the book. Into the tree of life. That it's so powerful that it explodes everywhere. And that sounds like Big Bang to me, dude. And we had, JT follows JC on. He was talking about in the 1840s. They made a decision to make the Kabbalah known to everybody. They were going to put it out. And then after that, you see all the different denominations of Christianity starting to show up everywhere like that. But that kind of lines up because everyone's like, oh, it's Jesuits. But everything is like Babylonian magic to me. It's all sorcery and it just infiltrates.
Dude, it's all wizards, bro. It's
all
wizards.
Fucking wizards, dude.
Dude, I think a lot of it goes to like guys that can read the sky.
I don't think you're wrong on that at all,
bro. Dude. It's pretty wild because there's massive eras that let you know. When you look at the moon, you know what part of the month you're in. When you look at the sun, you know like what part of the year you're in. And it's like there are people that look at the stars and they're like, okay, this is a time of blah blah blah, and they capitalize on it, and they understand wizard spells. They understand how to hijack people's identities, beliefs, assumptions, like safe and effective. The reason it worked, because it is, but safe for who? Effective at what?
That's a great point, dude.
It's like the assumptions are where everybody gets it, where everybody, it's like, oh, one nation under God. Which nation? Do they have big noses? It's like, which nation is the one nation? They're like, you got us. It's us. And you're like, totally, because that's why the irony about the word racist is the deepest irony, man, because where we're from, there's a lot of American Indians, and I played lacrosse, and you got Mohawks and Oneida, Algonquin, all that stuff, like Iroquois. And the first dude to ever say the word racist was a general. His name was General Pratt. He's the guy that said, kill the Indian, save the man. Racist meant you couldn't be like your tribe anymore. So everybody had to be like Banana Republic Indian in like 1880. And so if you wanted to speak your language, have your own food, that was called racist. Like you were a racist. And so I'm like, I'm not a bigot.
That's interesting. Dude.
I'm a racist and I'm not a bigot. I'm like, I want to go to Ireland and see Ireland. I want to go to Morocco and have Moroccan food. Like, I don't want everything to be homogenized, pasteurized into like this corporate garbage. Bigotry is like, I'm better than you because of this like subjective race thing. Racism just means like you can have a people, like you can have, like this is, like nation is an extension of family. And then those people, when honorable, you just get along great. And there's actual diversity in the world. That's again, like they want like diversity of nonsense characteristics, but no diversity of thought, food, way of life. It's just Starbucks and whatever. It's just like whatever you're fed. Like these fake non-real identities,
No, you're totally right, and you see it in like Hollywood for sure. Like, it's I call them demographic mascots. People just are demographic mascots, and it's just like plug and play. And that's why Hollywood is dying, because a bunch of rich kids, like everything that becomes a moneymaker, can trust fund kids come in, can overtake it, and then change the rules so they can thrive. And again, going back, like LA is still stuck in 2010. It's like I go on the road, I say every word, everybody fucking laughs. Nobody gives a shit anymore.
Nobody cares.
Nobody fucking cares. So
dude, people get pissed. They find out I'm an eighth, and they're like, oof. I'm like, you guys don't know the world anymore, And it's funny, like back in the day, I came up with this real estate idea in LA where I said, gangs, artists, gays, hipsters, yoga mats. Like that was like Echo Park, Silver Lake, all this stuff. It's like gangs, then the artists come in, then the gays follow the artists. That's when the money starts coming in. Then the hipsters come in with all the, and then once you see a white girl alone with a yoga mat, sell, right? And so it's true. You buy at the gays, like when the first gays are trickling into the art scene, you buy, you sell when you see the first single, And it just kept going though. Then it was like, then change all the rules, money pumps in, and then they're competing for money and not the thing they say they're doing. Like that Silicon Valley show was so right when he's like, we don't sell a computer program, we sell a stock. It's like everything's about belief, like, do you believe in this stock?
Yeah, I agree, dude.
Yeah, it's like not, that's why I think technology isn't actually advancing the way people think it is. It's like, because they're not like I have a 1999 Ford F350 with 350,000 miles on it, diesel. I call her Sweet Melissa Etheridge. It's a lesbian truck. Dude, it never breaks, and I can just fix it. I could run it on like used motor oil. It just in 1999 just doesn't break, and it's like. Because like back then it was more you built things to be what it is. And now it's like, oh, it has to break in 8 months. That way we can charge them this. And it's just chasing the dollar. And so when the dollar is someone's God, they're actually going to end up failing horribly. Cause like, look at me, like I've had my ups and downs, but when the smoke clears, it's like, I have a very loyal audience. I do fine because I never took the dollar to lie. Yeah.
Yes, you're authentic to what you do.
And now even the fake people are like, our brand has to be authentic. Like they're making authentic fake. It's like they're like authentic is the big thing now.
Right. So it's not authentic, it has to appear authentic.
Right. And I'm like, just be authentic. They're like, but we never developed as people. We didn't have a mom.
Yeah, and it's just like how people in Hollywood like to cosplay liberators, but in reality, they're 100% conformist. When your political views match up with the government, with corporations, with all these NGOs that are trying to ascertain culture wars, you're not authentic. You're not a free thinker. If you think there's rules to comedy, you're not a free thinker. That's my opinion. Now, I have a couple of rules. My rule is like, don't go after people's kids. That's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't go after people's kids.
Totally.
Leave their kids fucking out. Unless
no public figures. No public figures. Yeah.
Don't go, like if the kids.
There's only public figures. Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, you can go after Trump's kids because they're in the fucking business.
Right. Exactly.
Right. But if they're.
That's why Erica Kirk, people are like, don't go after the widow. I'm like, she's a political force CEO in my face all the time. No, she's in the game. You know,
if you question becomes like, is she a fucking MK Ultra?
I think she's totally like
she's just been.
Yeah, here's who you are today, Erica. Yeah, oh yeah. When there's that video of when she's staring at Charlie and she's like she's just like so horny and in love, and I'm like, dude, someone just hit a button. It was like a trigger word or something.
I think they're all at that level. I mean, they're all churned out. They're all turned out. They're all traumatized, and their job is to fucking be subversive to men, to compromise them or spy on them, wiretap them, and compromise them into doing weird shit. And it's like, the demonic push of everything that it finds itself in, like, into like queer theory and feminism and all that shit. I totally get that. But also the demonization of sex is there's a lot of blackmail in that. Guys, it's just the way it is, and you got to understand it. You need life insurance. All right. Nobody likes to talk about, nobody likes to think about, but it is one of the most important things in life, because you want to set your family up when unfortunately you might not be here. And that's why you got to check out our friends at Ethos. They will find the best rate for you with the best coverage possible. Let me tell you about Ethos. Ethos makes getting life insurance fast and easy, 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. There's no medical exams. You just answer a few simple health questions. You can get up to $3 million in coverage, okay? Some policies are as low as $30 a month.
Take 10 minutes to get covered today with life insurance through Ethos. Get your free quote at ethos.com/tinfoil. That's ethos.com/tinfoil.
Application times and rates may vary, and we thank them for sponsoring the show.
Right. Well, yeah, and it's inflated. That's the funniest thing. Blackmail as a currency also has inflation problems. Dude, in the 60s, you get someone using a loofah, you can blackmail them for being a homo, Now you have to be like a pedophile who ate a kid.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like the blackmail is getting it's losing its value like the dollar. Dude, in 1950, you could blackmail somebody for like anything.
Dude, it used to.
Not even that. It's like, I heard Rob over here doesn't change his own oil. It's like, oh.
It was gay to eat pussy in the 50s and 60s. Old Italians thought it was gay.
I still sign off on that.
Love to hear your thinking.
No, I like the gay joke. Like I like calling everything gay.
It's fun.
It's also I was talking to Dr. Heather. She just did Danny Jones.
Dr. Heather Lynn.
She's great.
Yeah, we love her.
And we're talking, I think we're riffing about how just calling things gay is actually like a spiritual like shield, where it's like, blah, 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 nah, gay, that's gay, nah, that's gay. It's just boom,
like
boom,
the word,
boom.
Like, and the word retard, like those really don't apply to what people think they apply to. Like, if you, that guy's such a, you're really like, it's
just weak. He's
annoying.
Weak.
It's annoying.
Weak.
Right?
Yeah, useless.
Like,
annoying. What we're doing, we keep offending useless people. So they're like, well, I happen to be a, and it doesn't mean you're like penetrating an anus, although that is one of the definitions. It's like, no, you always bitch and you always like borrow money, and then I'm the asshole for asking for it back. Like, I'm like, no, you're a fag.
They're just annoying people. That's who they are. And gays call each other that. And the thing about retards, like, no one really calls special needs people the R word. If someone goes, oh, look at that retard, you'd be like, dude,
bro, you know the story behind that. This is why I can come across as like kind of crazy, but fundamentally it's so funny. And as a comedian, I just love it. So moron, imbecile, and idiot were all categories for eugenics, like real eugenics, like hardcore, like we snip your balls. You take a IQ test. If it's too low, we're taking your testicles. And it's like the black people, tons of it. It was illegal in Indiana till like 1970 or something.
Yeah.
And so idiot was lowest IQ, like 0 to 25, then moron, then imbecile. They started calling people retarded to be politically correct. Because retarded just means underdeveloped. So it's like, oh, that's a moron. It's like, dude, we're not talking about the darkness we just came out of. So they switched it. Same with gay. People were calling them sodomites because they're people who engage in sodomy. And they're like, we're just real like happy, right? And they're like, yeah, gay. And now, but the beauty of life is intention is all that matters. So like, if you're calling someone gay because they're acting like a pussy, like they're always going to be called whatever the word is. You just get like 5 years of like hiding. And then it's like, oh no, I guess the word means this other thing now. Like anti-Semite is someone who's against Arabs. Like Semitic people is not even just, it's like the word is meaningless, where it's like, it was a Seinfeld joke. If you look at the Google Trends, it wasn't even used until Seinfeld had that uncle.
Yeah, I'm
Really?
totally 100% with you. It's
you get it.
It's crazy to me. And then how like people compartmentalize their rage, like, and it's all programming. They've been programmed to get mad at jokes they don't like, while like just in deep throating murder entertainment. Like I was back
Totally.
upstate New York, and my cousin got a call from one of her friends. And they were like, hey, you know that serial killer that just got arrested? They found another body here. And my female cousin's reaction to that was, let's go look at the house. And I was like, imagine that was a comedy club and she found out a white guy said the N-word there. They would be like, I'm never going there, ever.
Bro, you've shouted me out a few times by that. Like, you'll be like, dude, Owen was right about this.
Yes.
Because it will, like, people literally will be more offended by a word than a
100%.
Because, dude, I got them to kind of admit it, like in 2017. I just kept giving scenarios. I'm like, if a woman's being, can she call him an N? What if she's half black? He's from Sri Lanka. What if I kept giving these like scenarios, and they were like, if the N is the problem, like no, and I'm like, you're not worse than the, and they're like,
dude, you've been seeing it now in these fucking court cases. If they're even real, you don't even know if the court cases are real. But like the one court case in like Oregon or Washington where the black guy stabbed the white guy, and after he got stabbed, he got called the M-word. And then that's why the jury let him off. And I was like, dog, you stab me, bro. I'm going to give you a Hitler-esque fucking speech and fucking flamethrow fucking everybody if you fucking stab me. Are you fucking serious?
Dude, the move is just be like, you deserve reparations, and just, just start saying super progressive things as you just like gut them. Be like, this is generational trauma. You couldn't help yourself. Boom.
It's just crazy to me, dude.
And well, they're programmed, dude. They're like MK Ultra is like everyone now. They're just like, this word makes me feel this way. That's why I'm doing one of those 10 verse 1 debate things, those Jubilee things. And it's that slavery, my topic that I proposed is slavery is better than abortion. And it's going to get wild because I'm going to trap them every single time. They're going to start admitting it's better to kill black people than let them work off like a 30-year term. It's like insane.
Bro,
and I keep calling it.
That's going to be so funny,
dude.
Yeah. And I keep saying, I'm like, I'd buy them. I know what I'm doing. I literally wrote a book on wizardry. My dad was a rhetoric professor. It's like he's like at Hogwarts. So I keep saying stuff like, oh man, these unwanted babies. It's like, so what do you do with these poor blacks in the city with their unwanted babies? I'm like, I'd buy them. I'd put them to work. And they're like, buy? I'm like, how much does it cost to adopt someone? They're like, oh, $30,000. I'm like, you're buying. You're buying.
It's also,
adopt
dude,
just means buy.
It's also, dude, like when you adopt, you almost are shopping.
Oh, dude, whites are more expensive. And someone goes, oh, because they're black. I go, I'd rather they be white. I'm like, dude, I treat them great. We'd eat the same food. They could, like, that's the thing is this MK Ultra from the series Roots, that it just means you just beat someone for no reason. I'm like, I would have loved to have been Thomas Jefferson's slave. He'd teach me about law. He'd show me how to make wine. I'm like,
he made love to his slaves.
Dude, think about the current lifestyle is so much worse that they can't even comprehend. They're in a little cube drinking like grape drink, being programmed by like psychopaths. And they're like working in a little cube all day, just like doing, it's like they're filled with chemicals and stuff. I'm like, dude, slaves used to live to be like 100. There was this, when the moon landing happened, there was this former slave named Charles Smith. He was interviewed in 1969. He was literally 100 years old. He goes, ain't nobody go to the moon. And he was awesome. He talked about, he just picked oranges. When he was freed, he kept doing it. He was like, I'm in the sunshine all day long. And meanwhile, dude, there was this one black professor that wrote this like dissertation or something, or like an article about how much better the diet was for like antebellum slaves, and people lost their minds. It's like right now people are just eating cancer, and back then it was like you're eating like organic, fresh food all the time. You're in the sunshine. Sure, there was some bad slave owners and everything, but like, call it indentured servitude and it no longer triggers anybody. That's why I want to start calling it builder buddies. I'm going to rebrand.
So, I mean, you bring up some really great points. It's like the amount of taxes we pay versus way back then.
Yeah.
And like when you get into that, certain people see us as cattle. Like people,
yes,
they can't come to grips with that thought. Like everything that the progressive Hollywood person has pushed into their propaganda, certain people are doing the exact opposite of that. And they're very quiet about it because they don't want to lose their jobs, right? And it's crazy to me, dude. Like the way Hollywood looks at Me Too versus how Hollywood looks at pedophilia is insane to me. Like brush a grown up white woman's ass on set, you get excommunicated and ran out of town. Hurt children, silence. It's fucking crazy to me.
But look at like if you're the farmer, it's like they want a lower population. It's like perfect. It's input output. So no one can sexualize white women, so they won't be having kids. Raping the kids, they won't be having kids. It's like, why do they want to give reparations to black people? Because they think the money will come right back. It's like it's like a laundromat. You know,
dude, I've been talking about this. If they do reparations, I'm going to open up a Cadillac and gold chain fucking company.
Bro,
100%. Whips and chains.
100%, and you'll make a fortune because it goes right out. That's why they hate
that is brilliant, dude.
Rural whites.
They really want to give reparations because they know it's going to
that's why like rap right into the private prisons. It's like the commercial is like, man, I'm going to shoot someone for no reason. Everyone's like dancing. Okay, we'll bring them right in. Imagine if you're a landlord, you're making $15K a year. Okay, $35,000 a year with no expenses, every bed, and you put them to a room, and it's guaranteed by the federal government. Okay, how do we get all these people arrested? Well, we start having them sing along to crimes, and then that's going to be the status they seek. We'll just pick them right up, 30 grand a year, boom, boom, boom. It's like, it's input output. It's just we feed them this, we get this milk, we get this meat, and it's like not even close to. It's obviously that there's no. It's like,
well, it's also that like this how they brainwash us into believing our culture is our heritage, and they defend it like it's been passed down from generation to generation. And they like I tell people there's three things I can say 100% are true. One, people conspire.
Yes.
Two, culture's fake. It's all manufactured and astroturfed. And the world's ran by sorcerers. Those are the three things I could say 100% are true. Okay. Your culture is fake. All of it is fake. Like I was bringing it up on that podcast I told you about. Like they get rid of USAID and hip hop hasn't charted in the top 40 for over a fucking year.
100%, dude. It's all about just what's funded, and that's why the tower. It's like the Tower of Babel. It requires so much energy and money the higher you go that's why I think it's like some of it is stopped. Like I was public enemy number one because I make real culture. It's and then their PSYOP is cult. It's short for culture. It's like total nonsense. Meanwhile, you have to inject a mystery fluid and cut off your penis is not the cult. It's like insane. And so I make cheese, and dude, culture is the whole thing. They want like you have all these different cultures in the milk, and you grow them, and that's what makes the cheese. But if you burn it, like homogenization, pasteurization, you make it all the same, and you kill the culture. That's like how they make milk and cheese. And the Rothschilds have been to the parliament in England 2 times total. It was to create Israel and to make raw milk illegal. That's it. That's the only things they care about.
So crazy. Dude.
Because that's on the level of wizards is like, if we want to kill their culture, we have to kill the culture and the milk and the cheese. And you might not even understand how it works, but it does work that way, where you just start these things where you're like, if we do this first, it sets like out a vibration that will start affecting all of it. And you have to do the spell first.
Yeah, just magic is just manipulating energy.
Exactly.
And it's just through propaganda you manipulate how people see the world, which is all energy, dude. And it's like, it's like, you ever done stand up? Of course you've done, but you know when you're doing stand up and the whole room's rocking, but there's one person not laughing, and that is what you focus on. That's where your energy goes. So, there's a million things going on at every moment. And what you focus on becomes your reality. So what they do is manipulate what's in front of you, because most people are fucking goldfish, dude.
Well, yeah, and also they don't have any power without us. It's all about perception harvesting. So it's like, yeah, you get an idea in their head, but it needs to be maintained, because this is why I have a lot of hope. We naturally bend towards the good, the true, the beautiful. We like beautiful. We like good. We like a great hang. Even if we get like cynical and dude, you just hang with dudes you like and you're like, you just drawn to it. And it's like, so these spells, the only way they work is with something hidden. And when you see it, it's over. It doesn't really work anymore. It's like cisgender, like that. Like, look at all the failed spells. Like they were trying to make it so like normal people had a slur where it's like, oh, you're cis.
Remember microaggressions? Remember that one? That was everywhere for micro.
Yeah, and that just failed. I mean, the trans kid thing failed. A lot of things fail because unless you buy it, and the only way people buy it is when it's manipulated with something else. Like you have to go to war to save your family. Like if you get that ingrained in you, like they're attacking your mother, you can get men with a lot of energy, which are more like moral men, to fight your war. Because if not, you get junkies, you get cynical, money-obsessed people are not good warriors. They're not good workers. They're not good breeding stock. So the wizard spells are failing.
Well, what about the fact that all of these movies and TV shows are all about war right now?
Oh, yeah, totally. They do that all the time.
There's another one coming out on HBO. House of Dragons this season came to an end. And then another one, which is just straight war. People, and it's weird because there's these moments in these shows where a fellow soldier will die and they're just keep moving, and then they're pushing about how honorable it is to die in war. Like at the end of Game of Thrones, the one guy's like, "But we're still alive," like he's just desperate. And then when his time comes, he's so happy that he's about to die. And it's just like, all that's programming, dude.
Such programming. And it's like, that's what gets us to think stuff like, why wouldn't Iran tell us? It's like, well, the media is owned by this corporation. Like, what is Iran and how would it speak to us? Like, how would that message be translated and then put in a medium that we would have any access to, And that's why I get real local. Like, I'm not a flat earther. I'm a two-hill earther.
Talking about that, dude.
I'm like, there's two hills. I'm a two-hill earther because I can't know. Like, how am I supposed to prove? I'm like, the spinning globe is very fishy, and there's a lot of things about it that I don't even think are possible. Oh, flat earther? I don't know. What with my rocket ship?
But again, it's like the people who are just like so deep on a certain conspiracies, and then they just lose their minds on things like flat earth or there's no viruses.
Oh, yeah. Like no viruses. Yeah, because it's all about identity. It's like, so then I've been washing my hands with this like DuPont chemical for 20 years for no reason. It's like, yes, just own it, dude. It's not a big deal. I've been wrong about so many things.
Yeah, and then you can admit you're wrong. That's how you know you're actually a smart person.
That's the only people I trust. I told that to Tucker Carlson. I'm like, I used to, I didn't know what you are. You're just this famous news guy. But when you said you were wrong about Iraq and 9/11, I'm like, oh, he's like real.
Because what do you think about him having Hunter Biden on and like softball pitching it, but also trying to tell his followers that the whole Hunter Biden thing was Israel psyop, which infers that it's not real. That's what I got out of that. And listen, I have friends of mine who can't stand Candace. I've said this as soon as I catch her in a major lie, I'll discount
Me
her
too.
as well.
Me too. Yeah, but
So
she's crushing it.
This Hunter Biden laptop thing that Tucker, I call it faking the funk on a nasty dunk, which is out of Shaquille O'Neal fucking commercial. But it's like that to me is one of those things because if I was in a room with Hunter Biden, I go, what's up with the Finger Lakes tattoo? Because everyone says that's where people go missing in the tunnels. And what's up with all the stuff that makes it look like you've had sexual relations with your dead brother's niece? A fist fight might break out after that, but nobody's asking him these things.
Nobody asked him that?
Nobody's asked him that at all. And that's why.
That's weird.
And people I love, who I have a lot of respect, are doing shows with this guy.
Yeah, I just don't like promoting someone. It is a bit humiliating to be like, yeah, remember how we said this guy's like a pedophile crackhead? Well, he's cool now.
It's just so crazy.
Yeah, no, it's weird, especially like him lecturing on Twitter. You see that in churches sometimes where it's like the guy that fucked up his life the most seems like he's the guy that is going to lecture me who like didn't fuck up his life. They're like, man, you got to listen to me. I have no kids. I killed a guy. I was on heroin for 40 years. I'm like, no, I'm happy for you, but maybe you should listen to me, the guy that didn't do those things.
100. Listen, I'm in recovery. I love a good recovery story.
No, me too. I love a good recovery story too.
It's like, hey, dude, I'm not going to go just because you got sober. I'm going to forget that you're getting foot jobs from your fucking niece.
Right.
Hey,
Totally.
dude, I smoked crack one time. I made a mistake. Smoked crack. Never smoked it again. Fine. I'm not going to judge you on that, but you have this history. You were working with fucking other foreign countries and taking money from them. We're just all whitewashing that shit.
I think they probably just really want to break the left-right paradigm. But again, you still have to always play it straight. I haven't really looked into it. If the Grabblers faked a laptop, which is something they do a lot, I'd have to look into it. But I've like talked shit to him on Twitter. He starts doing these preachy things. I'm like, who the fuck are you, Hunter Biden? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. What is your thoughts on the blatant lying that's going on from the left about, or from, the Zionists, I guess you call it, about this Tyler Robinson trial? Like, it's so blatant.
Dude, it's so naked and blatant that I go back and forth with a few things. Like, one, it's just endgame narcissism where you have no self-awareness whatsoever. Where you, like what we talked about earlier, where if you don't like push back on people and you let them become these little tyrants, it's like Novocaine. You know, they don't know, they don't feel anything to the point where they're like just riding, just going for it. And no matter what anyone says, they're right no matter what. And I think we're seeing a lot of that, like just some really advanced narcissistic personality disorder. Or, you know, on the wizard level, it's like, don't believe your eyes and your ears. Like, we're going to hammer this until you doubt. You know, you can see this guy's cell phone and his skinny jeans. I made a video that went super viral where I actually have a 30-06 with the same scope, and I put it in my pants. I'm like, dude,
I saw that.
I'm like, I'm 6'8". This is retarded. I'm wearing sweatpants. This is like insane. He's wearing skinny jeans. He's this little guy. And you can see his phone and so there's no video of him even with a gun. You know, they paved over the crime scene. They paved
over the crime scene, dude.
Dude, they don't seem at all interested in any of Candace Owens' revelations. It's like one thing if you think someone's crazy, but it's like, if someone killed your wife or husband or whatever, like, wouldn't you be like, so they didn't look into any foreign ties? Like, why didn't we do that? You know, but
why are you having fireworks at your husband's memorial? Why are you walking out the fireworks like Triple H in WWF?
Oh, dude. And her this is a wizard spell. Candace nailed this too. This is why I'm like unironically a fan, because she knows some high level shit about wizard spells. She's like, you know, forgiveness is actually it's actually condemning, because you can't forgive someone that didn't commit murder. So like, the minute Erica Kirk said, I forgive him, and everyone's like, oh, Jesus Christ, that's beautiful. you can't forgive someone who's innocent, and he's innocent until proven guilty. So I think the big plan that I don't even know if any of these retards are involved or aware of any of it. One big revelation from my life is like, I'm aware of more stuff than some like central bankers and shit. Like a lot of the puppets don't get to know anything. They're just hollowed out. So the big plan is to make it so you have to prove your own innocence. You know, they released a movie about that this year on Amazon.
Yeah, I saw it. It was actually pretty good.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's a bad movie, but it's like the premise is, and even if it's a good message at the end that AI sucks or whatever, it's still like you must prove your innocence or else you're going to go to jail. And so now that's now a possibility in your head. And so now you have Tyler Robinson. It's like, okay, the 30-06 would never do that. They're like, but is it possible? You're like,
that's the whole thing. And that was Andrew Wilson's whole argument, that it's possible. So the deviation from the norm is the law to them. Like,
yeah, exactly. They're like, if it's possible, then he's guilty. It's like, no, that's not how reasonable doubt works. And Andrew Wilson's whole thing was like, and I've been feuding with that dude for years, but because he came at my family, he talked shit about me, and I'm just good at responding.
Dude, I hate when people go after people's families.
Yeah, dude, he talked about my dad for 6 hours getting super chats when it was just because we had a disagreement in a debate about the Trinity. I'm like, all right,
he
dude.
He really goes for people personally. Like,
and then he gets mad when you go after him.
Yeah. No, but I know stuff about his kids. I've never brought him up once. I'll go after his wife, who professionally mocks prostitutes because she's in the game. It's not really a wife. It's not like if I went after your girlfriend or something, that'd be insane. Unless she's online making money, talking shit to me, then it's like, you can't use human shields. But again, I don't hate any of these people either. Like, I don't even wish, I'm just like, his whole thing was, if the government that we think conspired does not provide evidence, then it's not evidence. The whole circular reasoning,
dude. It's like when you say the media is corrupt, they go source. What they're saying is, give me a
media source.
Media source.
Yeah, it's circular reasoning. It's just only evidence has to come from an expert. We decide who the experts are. You are not an expert, therefore you have no evidence.
Like this is the biggest thing, and it's like Brian Callen did this when I had a show with him, which is like the belief that universities have magical knowledge that you only get when you step on the campus.
No, it's actually slavery. It's you get in debt, unpayable debt that you can't even default on. Welcome to actual slavery.
Yeah, and it's like everything's on the internet. Every book for sale on the internet that they read on campuses, I can buy, I can read off the internet. Okay. And
so you're telling me I don't have to go to SUNY Brockport and get in $150,000 of debt?
Exactly.
To learn about that I should hate myself? No, and then they put a square on their head and wear a dress.
A black cube.
Dude, they could have a square on their head. I'm like, I didn't even go to my college graduation. I'm like, I'm not wearing a square.
That's funny. I didn't either. Yeah, I didn't go to mine either.
No, I literally am like, this was all, if my dad wasn't a professor, I would never have went to college. I'm telling my kids not to go to college.
My parents wanted me to.
I mean, same with me, dude.
I did it for them, not for me. I just didn't even want to go. And it's like, you have to pay off all that shit. It's like a waste of fucking time. It's like, if my daughters go, I don't want to go to college. I go, just get an apartment near the college, live the college life, have some fun while you're young. And then don't get any of the debt, start your own business, which is like kind of what you and I have done. It's like,
yeah,
this is something I want to tell everybody. You will find out very quickly if you're an insider or an outsider. And you can hope against hope that you can suddenly become an insider. But people have aged out and found misery waiting for the insider shit to happen. And it never fucking happens.
It never happens for any of them.
Yeah.
Because there's always another piece of cheese. It's the hedonic treadmill. I know people worth hundreds of millions of dollars. They're like, man, I got fucked. I'm like, oh, so it goes nowhere. Like, so if you're on a yacht pissed that your watch isn't the best in the world and you see someone on a pontoon boat having a blast, they feel envy and hatred because they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Fame, dude. All these guys who get famous, they seem miserable, dude.
It's a negative currency.
It seems misery.
I like where dudes like us are at, where it's like we get respect from people sometimes. If someone recognizes you, you're like, oh, I'd probably like you. Versus like these mega fame guys, it's like the world is a vampire at that point. They're like, take a picture, lick their face. Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, it is fucking weird, dude. It's fucking weird, dude. And it just becomes this, like, people think I'm crazy. But if Netflix, I mean, I would do this one show that I'm creating on Netflix just because it's the biggest platform.
Yeah.
But like a special, I just wouldn't want to put my comedy on there. Not because I don't like Netflix. I watch Netflix shows. I enjoy Netflix,
no, totally.
dude. But it's like, I'm not going to put myself to a place where they're just going to rip my shit apart. Like, unless you're like, and that goes for both sides. You see progressives put it out, the right destroys them, the right puts it out, the left destroys them. It's like, why do that? Like, is the numbers more important than just giving your fans this kind of farewell to these jokes you've been doing so long that you're over it and you just want to kind of like a final to me, a special to me is like saying goodbye to some friends that it's time to move on.
Yeah, totally.
I'm over these jokes. I've told them long enough. I've toured through these markets so many times they've heard it. It's time to retire and force myself to write new shit because it gets easy to sit on the old shit.
Totally.
So why put it up? I mean, I know people could call me crazy. I would
same with me. It's like I'd be fine with Netflix. Like it's not like I have a purity thing where I'm like, oh no, they're the bad people. It's like I just know they're gonna pay to like make it bad, and I'm gonna be because I've had that with commercials I've written and stuff. They're like, you're so funny, make the magic for Sierra Mist or whatever, and you're like, okay. They're like,
I remember those,
or just any of these where they're like, oh, not this, not this. I'm like, okay, so if I do what you say, I'm no longer funny, and it's gonna fail. So the reason you have me here, you're telling me I can't do now. And I'm like, that can't. That's like inverted. You know, it's like going to a mechanic and being like, you're the best mechanic ever. I'm going to pay you $100 million to just bash my car with a sledgehammer. And you're like, at the end of this, no one's going to win. You know, because even the people, even the wizards, they want influence, and influence doesn't work without some element of truth. Nate Bargatze seems like he's still funny in Netflix. He figured it out somehow.
Yeah, I mean, like again,
but most of it sucks now.
Like
though.
Being on Netflix is a bad thing. I think you're very lucky. I just go for my particular brand of comedy.
Oh yeah, there's nothing like, dude. I'm not naming anyone, by the way.
To me,
I'm not naming anyone, but a lot of it sucks. Nate Bargatze is one of the only guys on there where it's like, oh, he got to finish a joke. That's great.
Yeah. And again, I like the spectrum of comedy. I like a Nate Bargatze and a Jeff Foxworthy, and I also love Doug Stanhope. I like
Give me the spectrum.
You be the best you can be. But when you have opinions, there's a lot of people that don't agree with that opinion, and therefore, because they don't agree with that opinion, they hate the joke. And it's like, well, you could not agree with the opinion, but you could see the humor in the joke. And it's just gotten that, like, if you don't agree with someone, that means it's war. And I'm like, I don't even give a shit. Like, Jeremy from the Quarterling is convinced that trans furry can kill this guy. And, like, I don't, but I like Jeremy. I've liked Jeremy for a while. He doesn't, and it's like, I don't agree with him on everything, but I like that he built something from nothing. And I think that's a fucking honorable thing to do. I mean, is anybody perfect in how they operate? No.
Right.
It's
no,
like
I feel you. The only time I ever get a little spirally with guys like that will not admit, like that it like tilting up as you leave the moon with no one on the moon, like shit like that.
Yeah,
or Building
100%.
7. Yeah, like I will seriously be like, so if they say I killed someone and had a rifle in my fucking dick, like you will sign off on that? Like that's the only time I'll start being like, can I trust you as a person? You know what I mean? But even that, who gives a fuck? I can just get too spirally.
Yeah, I mean, listen, dude, it just, my whole thing is like, it's just, the internet is just Twitter beefs now, and it's okay if that's what you're into. I mean, like, I don't know, maybe I'm too sensitive for that shit, because I know they're going to come at me, and then I'm just going to, because I want to treat it like heckling, and I want to start curb stomping people, and then I just realize that that's the currency they want.
Dude, and without tone, it always up. This happens to me all the time, specifically because my tone, like you can always hear what like my vibe, but you can take my exact words and if you write it in a tweet, for some fucking reason, people always read it like I'm yelling it at them. Like it's weird. Like people will be like, dude, what the fuck are you coming at me? I'm like, bro, this isn't mean. Like
I was one of those people.
You were one of those people. Where I'm like, Sam, it's me. Like I talk like this. Like I talk like Central New York. Like I'm like, man, what the fuck is this? Like this is my tone. It's not like, but everyone does that. And dude, I've caught myself doing that before. You know, I've caught myself doing that where I read a tone. If I'm in a bad mood or something, I'm like, it's like that Key and Peele skit. They did a whole sketch on that where one guy's sending a text and the other guy's totally reading it wrong. And so Twitter is like that time.
Yeah,
and I get it because there's so much conflict all the time that people are just like, what do you mean by that? You fucking coming at me, bro?
I want to ask you,
like I like Armenians. Yeah, anyway, go on.
No, we can be shady, dude. You'll never.
No, dude, I told
another thing. Like imagine being an Armenian and going, there's no shady Armenians out there. That's my problem with my friends. It's like you've been so traumatized in your childhood that you can't even go like, yeah, dude, we got some shady.
I still love Glendale though. I like Glendale unironically.
Dude,
I do.
Try to find a homeless person in Glendale. You won't do it.
Strong families, Armenians. I told the same thing to Bilzerian. I'm like, I actually usually tend to like Armenians. Like I just do. Like it's
we're
not
99 cents. That's what we are. We're cheap. So I want to get into this thing that I've seen you with the Ortho Bros. Like, what is that about?
Bro, that again, this is a classic Twitter. They will ankle bite me and come at me and tweet and talk shit and say I'm a liar and I did a land scam and all this stuff. The minute I fucking respond, people are like, hey man, what's up with you and Jay Dyer? I mean, he's a good dude. I'm like,
we love Jay Dyer.
Again, I couldn't pick him out of 5 people. Like, and I'm not trying to say that to be a dick. Like, I just see him talking shit and I'm like, okay, I'm going to make fun of you for wearing a fucking Hawaiian shirt. I'm going to make fun of you because you bitch about having diarrhea all the time. Like, this is just what I'm going to do. And then they're like, oh, like when I did Tucker, he literally just immediately was like, this is a mistake. Owen Benjamin is pure, unadulterated buffoonery or whatever. I'm like, and it was about the Trinity because I said, who did Jesus pray to? And they're like,
but, do you have an issue with Christianity? I'm not accusing. I'm
no, like, dude, I figured out why they freaked out because they have all these icons. And again, I'm not trying to get involved. So Christianity says you cannot draw. I mean, originally it was you can't draw people, like the no graven images. And I get it.
Isn't that what they do with
people?
Muslims? Like, because if they did draw Allah, or Muhammad, he'd be light skinned with red hair.
Well, they're not allowed to draw any living people. Like, that's the funniest thing about the Muhammad thing. People are like, I'll try and draw Muhammad. I'm like, their religion says you can't draw anyone, and so does Christianity, but no one gives a which is fine. I draw people. It's all good. But they're like, the priests are like, but we definitely can't draw divine figures like God. We ban drawing God. And then they're like, and here's a picture of Jesus Christ. And you're like, wait, what? And they're like, he's 100% man, though. That's why we can draw him. And he's also God. And you're like, confused? And they're like, how dare you? They get, because I was raised Catholic. They weren't that freaked out about asking who did Jesus pray to. That was my question. I'm like, how do you pray to yourself? And people are like, oh, you're trying to take down our religion? I'm like, no, I actually farm.
Yeah, explain that thought to me. I find that interesting. What were you? I saw a clip where were you debating somebody on that one?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Oh no, that was great. I love that guy, Matt on Nephilim does. Like, no, I talk to Christians all the time.
Nephilim guys are great. What was your?
Oh, it was Jim Bob, made by Jim Bob, and it was moderated by Andrew Wilson. And again, you just saw what happened to Andrew Wilson. They lost so bad, and they just said they didn't.
I can't believe that they're like.
Dude, they said quote unquote Jesus did not pray, and I'm like, So Jesus didn't pray in the garden. So when he kept saying he was praying, what was he doing? They're like, he was fulfilling a priestly role. I'm like, so he didn't pray. They're like, well, he like prayed like as a way to fulfill it. I'm like, but he didn't pray to God. They're like, no. And Andrew Wilson was supposed to be this like unbiased moderator.
I'll show you the kind of the.
This is where it all came from. Yeah, and it was not from me, dude. I promise. And he was like, yeah, Jesus didn't pray. And so afterwards, I was like, all good. And then they just started being like, Owen Benjamin's leading people away from God. And then Jim Bob's like, we have to take down the bear community. It was like nuts. We call it the Jort Wars because he was wearing jorts when I let him stay at my house. And it finally petered out. It's all good. And it's like, dude, Jim Bob was making like clips trying to make me look like a pedophile. Because I said,
this is the guy who stayed at your house.
Yeah. I let his family stay at my house. They all talk shit. They talk shit about my again.
That's so weird to me.
I know because they felt shame. Like, but I don't fucking care. And people are like, oh, you mocked the Trinity and called God gay. I go, no. Milo and E. Michael Jones did a Trinity intervention. It ended up being pretty funny. And the joke from before was, two guys and a ghost, where's the woman? Sounds a little gay. I'm like, if you're offended by that, you can go fuck yourself. Like, that's retarded. I know you're not that holy, dude. I'm like, I actually toil in the wilderness. I'm like, I fucking watch as I separate goats from sheep. Like, the metaphors in the Bible, I take so seriously, I fucking do. You know, like, I close, be fruitful, multiply, don't be fruity and blow. I'm like, so, my dog just got up because that's usually how I had. That's so funny. I'm like, no, I love God. Like, I think about it all the time. But it's like, I wonder how did Jesus pray? And that one thing started this crazy thing. And I'm like, bro, I don't know the answer. I've settled on it's mysterious. But when people...
I think it is mysterious.
Yeah,
Are you still a Christian?
I mean, it depends on what the brand is. That Benny Johnson and the Ortho Bros, or is that like how I feel about Jesus and God? Yes, that's my theology. But the word Christian now is like either Israel or, just these.
No, I get what you're saying. I said that a lot, dude. It's like I love Jesus. I just not into the organized religion.
Dude, we're two or three gather in my name. It's like he fought the fucking Pharisee that was saying, how dare you? This is special boy, blah, blah, blah. Like, he wasn't wearing the $3,000 robe and having you kiss a picture of him. Like,
interesting, dude.
So anyway, that's just and again, I try not to even really talk about religion much. I'm like, if you think it's sacred, I'm going to try to honor that. But if you're going to fucking come at me and just like the with the Holocaust, use like your religion as a liability shield, no, like you're just not going to do that. Like if you're going to wear your Hawaiian shirt and talk shit, and I'm like, I'm going to make fun of you. You're not God. And we can make up if you want to hash it out. Like, dude, I'm the first to bury a fucking hatchet if someone's just not psychotic with me. It's like,
let's make it, bury it, dude. Let's figure it, but it's not my place. That's
I mean, it's like, he would be like, I'm not going to Bohemian Grove if Owen's there. He's truly psychotic. What did he do? He does not love the Lord properly. I have not done a goddamn thing to this guy. It's like if someone wants to actually act like that's really what you're offended by, it's like, have I come at your family? Did I even know who the fuck he was when he started doing these videos about like, how dare you not believe what I believe? I'm like, bro, I don't care. I'm a scumbag from Oswego, New York. Like,
I just feel like you guys would get along on so much stuff.
And I'm down. I'm down. It's like, if he wants to fucking make fun of each other, and we were going to do that. And then he was like, oh, how dare him? I'm like, okay, dude, you're just being a pussy. Because at first we were going to do
good. Yeah, I get it, dude. I mean, I get it.
No, I get it. And it's fine to like him. Like, I don't hate him. It's just, this has been my experience where it's like, all right, let's, and then he goes, let's see who's funnier and we'll roast each other. I'm like, yes, dude, I used to get hit by fucking tomatoes with gypsies, bro. I'm like feral. Like, I'm in. Yeah, and he's like, oh, but too far for me. I'm like, okay, man. But anyway, it's all good. It truly is all good. Like, I'm not.
We're gonna get you guys to go along. I'm just a kumbaya guy,
dude. Me too, bro. I'm like totally that guy, and I know you know that about me. Like, I can get autistic, and I can grind away at shit that probably makes my life harder. I get it, dude. My brother, who I love, is like, yo, my brother's coming. No one bring up the fucking moon. Like, I get it. Like, I can be that guy. I've worked on it. I get it. Like I may have ruined one of Amy's mom's birthdays once talking about the fucking moon landing like 10 years ago. Like I literally don't, I try not to do that, but I know that's a weakness. But if someone just wants to be like, hey man, let's just not do that anymore. I'm like, yes. Like I'm fucking feel good Gary, man. I'm like a dog. I'm like, oh, let's play fetch. It's like,
it's like, Owen, there's probably a lot of trauma from what you went through. And like, I had to work on this too. Like I got so much shit when I was in high school that I had this fucking quick trigger.
Yeah.
And I would just cut people. And then like I got into recovery and I realized I was turning into my father.
Bro,
and I couldn't work with anybody.
Right.
And I was fighting everybody. And I go, I'm going to end up like my dad. And like, I love my dad. I would never, always go, if you do it all again, would you choose the same parents? 100%. So, but like he made a lot of mistakes and I think he made it so I would see that and like not repeat that. But I do get that, like that kind of quick to fucking kneecap people because you've been through a lot and there was, like at the beginning, again, I'll say this, it's like you were saying things that people weren't ready to say or were ready to see. And I said this to you in Bohemian Grove. It's like, you never want to be the first explorer. You want to be like the 6th or 7th explorer.
Bro, I feel comfortable being the first guy though. Even in forests, like I like to go in when no one's fucking been there and I start cutting and burning. Like I'm like, sometimes it's harder for me to be like the guy that finishes it. I'm like, I like to like set the tone, cut dude, I'm related to William Clark from fucking Lewis and Clark. It's like, I like being like, nothing's been done here. Let's start it. But it does get a backlash. And I do have that thing. I have the same thing. Like, I went through a phase where I'm like, oh, you're going to come at me. I'm going to fucking make you regret it so you don't do it again. And it's like it was just a fear response. It was just like I don't want you to keep hitting me. Yeah,
it's
totally
natural. And you kind of get that, and then you gotta be like, okay, breathe. But what I'm saying is like it's like, yeah, going into force, you're probably great at that, but I'm talking like cultural shit. Like when you're the first one to say something that's very taboo, everybody comes at you.
Bro, but I'm like a hard end myself. I have flow state. Like I don't
dude, my pronouns are real nigga, dude.
No, for real, dude. Like I actually relate to that. I'm like, but that would require planning. Like I'm just in the zone. I'm like a musician. I'm like, but I was feeling this new shit. And it's like, yeah, but you got to wait, man. In 6 months, that's when the gays come in. I'm like, ugh, I can't wait. It's like, so I have to take, like, I'm no victim. Everything that happened to me was because I had the thrill of that feeling. Just like a lot of bees end up in jail. I get it. So like no one owes me anything. Like I know that when you say shit like pandas are fake, people are like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, panda bears are literally fake. Like there's zero chance they were ever in the wild. And then, 2 years later, everybody's talking about fucking pandas being fake. And I'm like, now I want to know what I used to do that sucked that I've changed is I used to want credit. I'd be like, well, who fucking said it first? I'm like, well, I didn't even say it first. And who do I want credit from? And don't I just want people to know stuff?
Yeah.
Like I just want people to be, it's like the Candace Owens thing. I wanted Andrew Wilson to be crushed. She did a better job than I would have done. So I'm like happy. I'm like happy that like people got to see that. And it's like, I'm happy for anybody. Weird. Like I don't own any ideas. Like I used to be a little like a dragon with like, when Chappelle did that trans joke that I did before and suffered for it and all this stuff. But I'm like, yeah, but don't I want people to see that? Like that was the whole point. It's not about me. It's like,
it's also that because that happened to me too. I'm not saying he took it from me or I took it from him, but
you're ahead of a lot of people too, man.
But it's like the way I saw it, because he did it on Saturday Night Live. We had a bit about the Orlando gay bar shooter, and he did it on Saturday Night Live. And the thing I had to say is I wrote a Dave Chappelle level joke, at that point.
Right. That's great, man. No, that's how I got too, man. I'm just like, dude, it's all good. Like it's almost like Field of Dreams when that one ghost is like, is that why you did this? For you? Where it's like, no, I was the guy that brought the bass thing that helped the people.
At the end of the day, Owen, like you won. Like
I feel that
you won, and
I feel
kind of
great.
like me to a lesser extent of how far you went with moving and like just totally changing your life. I would love to move, but the way you change your life and all that shit, and regardless of whatever happens in the world, society crumbles.
Bro, my whole area just burned to the ground. So like, I'm not in a Norman Rockwell painting. Don't get me wrong, I'm crushing, but like,
What do you mean it burnt?
dude, Spokane just burned like
Oh my God.
15,000 acres, like just gone. It was just like, dude, we had smoke here for a month. It's just like apocalyptic as shit. And we have to always be alert for fire, dude. And fire is like one of the craziest things. I take fucking drunk Mexicans over fire.
I mean, it's crazy because when we were young, they didn't call it climate change. They called it arson.
Right.
Right. It's crazy how the words change, but at every single climate change event, there's an arsonist every fucking time, just doing some shady, fucking, Bolshevik bullshit. Like just try, and that's how they take over. They burn it down. And then there's
always
let's buy for pennies on the dollar.
There's always Jay Lightning happen. You just look at the insurance policy.
Jay Lightning, dude. I really want to call it an episode. There's always Jay Lightning.
Oh, dude, insurance. When I talk about insurance companies are at that level of like actually running shit where it's like insurance is bigger than all the governments, all of it. And if you just look at where the policies are and who owes what and all that, you'll see places burn based on that shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. Oh, and one more time. You got a website still? What do you do?
Yeah, owenbenjamin.com. And I have like thousands of episodes of my podcast.
You put out something a day? It seems like
every day.
You're mentally ill, constantly putting out content.
Yeah, dude, I'm part German, man. If I don't work, like I feel weird. That's why when we said work will set you free, we're trying to help. And we didn't know that they didn't have sweat glands. Anyway, ladle.tv is where all... And it's $9.11 a month.
Are you back on YouTube?
No, I tried a while ago, and I'm allowed on anyone's show. I might be allowed back, but I just grew to grow my own thing. I'm just done like wishing and hoping and wondering. So I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, but like, yeah, ladle.tv is $9.11 a month. And I have my own infrastructure, so I can't it doesn't shut down. And
yeah,
I just built
that's
all
the best. So I go to Montreal and I bomb, dude, and I just get excommunicated right out the gate. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me because I had to build a system outside the system.
Dude, that's how they actually got power. They got kicked out. They're like, we have to build our own financial system, and now we're in it.
Yeah, and now we're. And by the way, I don't believe that story about the Rothschilds either. He was so smart.
No, exactly.
He did no, dude. It's if you take a look at all these fucking billionaires,
Epstein was so smart. That's why he got to work at Bear Stearns. He's just super smart. When he's like,
places.
I got a calculator.
Yeah, exactly. I got a calculator and an egg-sized dick. And I came up with this system. No, it's like Jeff Bezos was hand selected to do what he's doing right now.
Same with Gates. Yeah, it's like he started in the garage. It just so happens his dad's a world eugenicist and his mom runs like United Way, but it was in a garage.
Yeah, and dude, and the same thing with the Saudis. Like the Saudi Empire, the House of Saud was started by a British spy, and like they just position these people, which is the greatest gig of all time, by the way. You go, who had the greatest gig ever? It's the guy that got put in charge of the House of Saud and just became a trillionaire, and now his kids do whatever the they want. They buy every fucking sports team. That's the greatest gig ever getting anybody.
Just so hot, man. I'd miss water. I love where I live.
They can go anywhere they want. They go, oh, dude, I want to go to San Diego and then they fly somewhere and they bring all the furniture. They just spend money. They spend money. Like they'll literally take all the furniture out of the Four Seasons and replace it with their own fucking furniture.
That's hilarious.
He got a gig to basically because the British made all the fucking borders.
Dude, that's where the Wizards fucking are, man. It's City of London.
Dude, it's not, man. These people just like,
this is a brand. It's like House of Saud. Everything's a fucking brand. It's all sigils and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, the Holocaust is a spell for... It's so that they get so afraid they'd never assimilate.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, I can't be cool to my neighbor because he's
But
going to turn me into a
also,
lamp.
What a great way to make religious extremists create a country and have everybody on welfare. And the only thing they got to do to get the welfare is to read these insane books that say insane shit. And hey, you're the greatest and you're the best and everyone else is cattle. I mean, imagine that was your gig, dude.
That's why it's all about gratitude and forgiveness, man. A wise man once told me that this world, the wise man is you, that this world, I remember you texted me that once. You're like, this is like a house of mirror madhouse.
It's
like
a haunted house.
It's a haunted house loosh harvesting machine. So if you're just grateful, like, oh, no way, a ghost popped out. Hey, Mr. Ghost, how you
Give
doing?
it away, dude.
Man, I wouldn't change who my father was. He had problems. Like, dude, that's the only way to not get sucked dry, man.
Yeah. Is to learn from your mistakes and change them. It's like better to get, like, I've always said this. You will have turbulence in your life. It's either going to be early or it's going to be late, but it's going to happen.
Yeah, and it's going to help you grow.
And how you deal with that determines how far you go. And it's like, I got it early with the like getting excommunicated, drug problems, all that shit, and then getting out of my own way and now thriving. Like these guys I see them all getting it later in life. And it's like, when do you want to get it? When you're at the top? It's like I said this before about Andrew Wilson. It's like I've done business with him. I still do business with Andrew Wilson, but it's like that rise was so fast, dude. You didn't realize the blessings of that. You
didn't build the roots. You know, I had a lot of problems early in life and then late 30s.
Yeah.
Mid 30s. Yeah. Like I had a good run in Hollywood in my 20s.
You had a great run.
But I had like, you know, my childhood was dark. You know, there was also some light shit too, but it was like I learned, you know, I developed some deep roots early. And then that helped me way later when the winds came back.
Yeah. I mean, the appreciation of what you got these young comics, they get big on Instagram because Instagram wants retards to flourish. So, you do monkeys throwing shit against the wall and you're getting 1 million views and suddenly you're selling a bunch of tickets and that happens very quickly. You're not going to appreciate what that means. Like that.
Dude, like guys like us were in Cleveland doing Wednesday nights, Cleveland Improv. It's like, I'm grateful that we had to go through all that.
Tuesdays in Calgary, dude. I did a Tuesday to Sunday. Like that's
dude,
that's why
I'm down. I feel you. You know, doing Kansas City with those dudes where you're just up at 4 a.m. It's like, you know, you got to do all the radio and then you go, everyone's shit faced. You know, you think you got a bonus, but no one ever gives you one.
Yeah.
But you got to struggle up there. Like, dude, a lot of those shows, like they weren't even your fans. They were given a free ticket and you have to fucking hold their attention and win. And it's like, dude, I love that we have that experience. It makes us like know more about the world
and appreciate when you have it.
Exactly. And now I'm just all about health and my family's health and good food, good friendships, you know, like this conversation was fucking great, man. I loved it.
Well, it was fun. I'm generally happy when I see you on these big shows. I mean, like, it's good to see what you went through and then to finally get your flowers for like the things you said that got you excommunicated. And it's like, it's gotta be crazy to see that people now are flourishing off of saying the same shit you were saying a long time ago. But like that's what it is, man. It's like, when you're an outlaw, you create the system and then the rich kids come in and co-opt it.
Right. And I got to focus on but I got to have the adventure. I got to have that roller coaster and the House of Sod. I guarantee a lot of those guys are like, so what do we do next?
Yes.
Like, we get more blowjobs. Yeah. I got a bigger couch. It's like,
we bang more prostitutes.
So you end up shitting on chicks. That's
how
totally.
you end up shitting. You're just chasing the next high.
Yeah. That's why inner peace is good, man. I see that you've done a good job with that. I mean that.
Just got to let go, dude. Surrender to it.
It's
like
bro.
You're the sky. I say this all the time in recovery. You're the sky. Your emotions are the weather. It will pass.
My bike's never coming back.
Your bike is that bike has been hawked.
Yep, 1991. I just wanted people to acknowledge what happened.
Yeah, we're in the upside down world right now. So, like Kanye said, dude, in a world of lies, the truth seems crazy.
Yeah, but it's still super powerful though. And they all want it.
Undeniable.
Yeah. I feel bad for these fucking people that, like, dude, Bill Gates can never say pandas are fake or someone ate Charlie Kirk. Like, he has to say exactly what he has to say.
100%. And that's another reason why, like, I would love to have this project I'm working on go on Netflix. That would be a great goal and great achievement. But like the stand up, dude, like the freedom of being like
So
the king
free,
of the
man.
underground is like you can say the most truth, which is dangerous. The truth
you're
is
free.
dangerous right now. You can say it and move on with your life. When you get to these really high levels, everything is
And it's more dangerous up there. Like, I don't even feel that threatened now. Charlie Kirk, when the mafia of the world is giving you an MK bitch and 50 mil and you have to deliver all the college kids, like, you can't fuck up. Me, I annoy people, but no one's like, we have to kill the fucking panda guy that fought with Jay Dyer. Like, no one gives a fuck.
Yeah. It's freedom, dude. Freedom
It's
to say
so
and
freedom.
do and move as you want.
Yeah. And that's why, like, when you get their money, it comes with a big thing. Like, you can't
go off reservation, bro.
No. And it's kind of fair. It's like, that's why when I had my reputation burned, I'm like, yeah, I mean, you guys made it, Like, they put me on Comedy Central. They put me on all this shit. They're like, you can't have that sigil that we created in your name like a spell and talk shit about our noses and our little dicks. And I'm like, I get it, man.
Yeah,
So
I think the Swedish are the chosen people, to be honest with you.
Dude, and there's a lot of power in Sweden. That's where Stockholm is. That's
Switzerland's where all the power is, dude. And like everyone's looking at Israel. You're like, dude, everything's in Switzerland.
Dude, Israel's a dump. Israel's a spell.
They're gonna listen. Israel's gonna eat the sins, and they're just gonna get rid of it. In Babylon, these were the slaves. And then they're just gonna go to Argentina.
100%. Dude,
they're just gonna give us.
I'll just pitch you a final thing. I know we're going along, but like, I think all the gold's in Antarctica.
We got an argument today on one of our other shows, a financial show, and it's like there's no gold in Fort Knox. That's why
there's no gold in Europe.
Go outside and show you it.
Dude, Rothschild Island, they got that shit like in 1815. They used to say it was there because no one could make the trek to check. Because every revolution, they're just like, go steal the gold back from the fucking grabblers. And they got so sick of it. I think that's why there's Antarctic Treaty. No one's allowed to go to Antarctica. It's like, I think that's where they keep a lot of shit.
And why can Switzerland be neutral? Why are they allowed to be neutral? Why can't Iraq be neutral? Why can't Kuwait be neutral? Why can't Palestine be neutral?
Right.
Why is Switzerland like, yeah, we're not involved? Like, why can't we not? Why can't Poland be like, we're neutral?
They're like, because we have great chocolate.
Yeah.
I was like, sweet.
You don't want to bomb our factories. You won't get our chocolate anymore.
Yeah, because everyone else can't be neutral because they want to bomb them and take their shit. It's
all about destroying the old world and blood sacrifice. That's what wars are all about.
100%.
Oil. Oh my God. Oh, dude, everywhere's got oil.
Everywhere. Dude, and they keep, it just refills.
Yeah. 100%.
There's no running
oil. That's what they told us. We're going to run out of oil at some point. Sure we are. Dude, scarcity is the biggest fucking lie.
Biggest
of
lie,
all
dude.
Fucking time. There's enough for everybody. If anyone's starving, it's because fucking wizards and sorcerers can stop food coming from you. And that's this fucking straight up harm moves and stopping the oil. It's about food supply. It's about they're going to try to get everybody so they don't have any food. And then chaos. This is the thing, dude. And I said this before, and I would love for you to hear it. It's like they keep saying they want to get rid of cops and they want to get rid of fucking prisons. I go, do you guys understand what you're asking for? You're asking to get slaughtered because the silent majority, the only thing that keeps them from going nuts on all you people, from the horde of the silent majority descending on Antifa, descending on BLM, is the thought of they go to jail and their kids grow up without a parent. That's what stops them from acting crazy. And they're just like, let's just be cool and raise our kids. You take that punishment away and you tell a bunch of people that they won't go to jail if they just murk everybody. You're calling for chaos, dude.
They want chaos. They want scarcity and chaos for sure. Yeah, that's why I keep telling everyone to have a garden. I'm like, one tomato has 100 seeds in it for 100 tomato plants because they want everyone dependent on food and then to pull it back to get compliance. Dude, it's farming cows. I have the grain bucket. If my cows could get their own grain, they wouldn't let me milk them.
Yeah, and it's also like they think they can like how many someone said like 3,000 people run the world. There's a billion people. Like you can put up all the flock cameras you want. At some point the horde's going to come.
Yeah, that's why they need consent, independence. Yeah.
Well, that's why they haven't put boots on the ground. I mean,
they don't have boots.
The fuck you want? Well, it's also that they can't get like 9/11 was getting us the consent to sending us to fucking murder brown people in the Middle East.
Yeah.
They can't get the consent anymore.
Exactly. Dude, and people are like, they're going to make everything a prison. I'm like, well, you need to have a free world for the prison guards to live in and buy shit. Where do they buy shit from? The grocer? How are they in prison? Like, it's all spells. It's like Wizard of Oz. At the end, they're like, oh shit. And then they get in a hot air balloon of inflation and just float out. And they head on down the road to the next kingdom, but there isn't another one this time. So this is why it's a fun time. It's like it's high stakes shit. It's like they can't go like Princess Bride. You know, it's like we're just poor lost circus folk. Will you help us? That doesn't happen now because the brand fucking popped.
Yep, the brand is popped, and when the brand is popped, they disregard. That's why Israel's. It's like it's such a brand.
Yeah, it's
just
a dead brand.
Erase it, turning it into Babylon, which has always been the old gods want to come out and play. I've been saying that for fucking years. They're tired of sitting in the background. They want to be worshipped. They want sacrifice. And regardless of what you think of Jesus, and there's people like Jesus didn't exist. I don't believe that at all.
Jesus changed the whole thing. He said, You don't have to eat flesh and drink blood, bread and wine. Like he showed everyone that they didn't have to be evil anymore. And it's so powerful that I don't like getting lost in theological debates because it's so simple and beautiful, you know? And it's like
so simple, dude. And it's like, there's just so many things where you're like, that doesn't make sense to me. Sounds like a apparatus of control. And
exactly.
It's like, keep it down simple, love thy neighbor, give it away, help others. And you know, the commandments, they're just high vibrational behavior. Don't fuck your buddy's wife.
Yep.
Don't murder. Don't lie. Like these are basic high vibrational fucking actions. You do that, your life is much better. It's all high vibration versus low vibration.
Yeah, and that's why forgiveness is so important because shame is a weapon of Babylon. So it's like Jesus showed that you could say, I made a mistake, but you have to admit it. You have to like take the step to say, you know, I did that and it was wrong and I want to be better. That's like good magic. That's like the beauty. Because if you don't have that
magic, people always think there's only black. I think there's high vibrational actions, and that leads to high vibrational energy, and that's manipulation of energy, which is what I think magic is.
Yeah, it's like alchemy, you know, it's like just taking one thing and I guess like good magic would be magic without anything hidden or a trick where it's just like, if you do this, it's good and the energy goes up. But since we're in an infinite energy system, it's not a manipulation. Like no one's losing out because you're crushing.
I agree, dude. Great way to end the show. Owen.
I love it.
One more time. Tell them where they
OwenBenjamin.com, ladle.tv. I have my own social media app where it's actually really clean. It's app.beartariatimes.com. And it's just like really positive, good shit in there. There's no fighting, none of that cortisol stuff. We actually built an alternative for anybody that wants to do that. And then courses.owenbenjamin.com if you want to learn about piano. It's clean lessons, but there's also some cool esoteric shit in there.
All right, dude. Great show.
What's up? It's your boy Extreme Marks the Spot, and I got a crazy reaction video here for you guys. I got a real dirtbag, a tweaker in the building, scumbags in the building. You want this hat? Just leave a comment. Let's get right into it. Real scumbag activities, baby. Let's go.
Officers are pursuing a stolen motorcycle, and once they detain the rider, he makes a shocking move they never saw coming.
Hey, sir. I ain't playing that bullshit. I don't want to in the car and make smelly shit.
You already smell like shit, dog. You're a tweaker. You take a shit, you don't take a shit, you smell like shit, homie.
I didn't steal that bike.
Okay.
Did I run because I know it was stolen? Yes. Can I smoke one cigarette before we go in, please?
Nope. Look, man, I'm not trying to be an asshole.
I didn't see you guys behind me for a long time.
The owner of this bike is tracking it, okay?
So how come he didn't get it from dude earlier this morning? I know who had that bike earlier.
Who's that?
I'm not a rat. I can barely talk. I please have a drink of water.
I don't have any water, man.
I can't talk. I'm not trying to be I promise you.
Well, you just told me you...
This fool, he's got to take a shit. And he's dehydrated. Bro, why do they always need something? Tweakers are always in the need of something.
I mean, to get bit by that dog.
Because I was upset at the time. Please let me smoke a cigarette, man, please.
Cigarettes are going to dry your mouth out even more, man.
I don't care. I'm going to prison, please.
Tight.
Please, man.
You're cool with me? I might let you smoke when we get to jail.
Why is he not in the back motherfucking seat, bro? Why is he not in the back seat? Why?
Oh.
How much do you have in the bag?
Like a quarter gram of ice and 2 Xanaxes.
Look at this fool struggling, dog. He gonna get out. I can already tell by the up there. Cuff escape attempts number 3. Get you number 4, number 5. This fool's out. It's gonna be a bad situation.
63.
Oh shit, there it is. Either he can run away or he's gonna steal this cop car, and you already know what's gonna happen. He should have just ran away. Quick sneaky link. Savage, dog. Savage. That black guy was scared for his life. Look at that fool's face. Such an asshole. Oh, bro, and then he's trying to hold on to the door, bro. Just let him go. You're gonna get fucking dragged along. Let him go. Oh, wait, a what? Park kill feature automatically turns on off siren when in park to help claim whatever. No wonder the sirens are off. There he goes. Off-roading, baby. Let's go. Got it, baby. Oh, they're both off-roading. Shit. Oh.
That happened, Lee.
Okay, listen to me. I stole a cop car and I'm driving. You gotta meet me somewhere, baby, so I don't get caught. Where are you meeting me?
This fool called his fucking main piece, dog. Oh, bro, she's a ride or die if she helps him out. This cop's pissed, though. You can tell he fucked up. He's gonna get his dick kicked in by the sheriff's department.
Hey, caught. Where are you meeting me?
Bless.
Yeah, you fucked up, homie. It's gonna be in the back seat.
Bless, baby. We go.
Here's a clip from the latest Broken Sim. Okay, Bigfoot exists. Bigfoot exists.
I believe that it could be anywhere from interdimensional creature past the ice wall. I'm going to go with A.
We're in agreement. I'm in an A too. There's just been too many encounters with something like Bigfoot as we use the known fake image of him. But there's just been too many encounters for it not to be.
I believe in cryptids 100%. I mean, I have tweaker ghosts at my house that jack stuff and try to hawk it on the other side. They try to sell my shit. Like I'll find my nose hair trimmer in the backyard. I'm like, why is my nose hair trimmer in the backyard?
That's crazy. You don't think your daughter's maybe just picking it up and dropping it somewhere?
It's tweaker ghost, buddy.
That's crazy. Okay, the next one is Paul is dead. Paul McCartney died, and he was replaced by Brian Epstein and other people in the Beatles. And the person we now know as Paul McCartney is an imposter fall, as some people call him, that replaced Paul McCartney in the 60s.
Because this is your baby, I'll go first. I'm gonna put it at a C. I think it's possible.
Okay. I'll tell you why I put this as an F, fittest flat earther F. What are the odds that there were two people who looked just like Paul McCartney that were the most talented musicians in history in pop music?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely you're onto something. I think it's possible.
It maybe, but and then it's also one of the things people misunderstand is that Paul McCartney famously had a moped accident. You can go see the result of this in the Rain video. You can see Paul McCartney. Go watch the video for Rain. His tooth is a little bit crooked and he's got a fat lip. That changed his face a little bit. He got a really gnarly scar on his lip, and that's one of the things people point to say that he was swapped out. Yeah. So
I did C, right? And you did
F.
So we're gonna go D.
We'll go D on that one. The next one is the Denver airport is an underground Illuminati end of days base, kind of like a safe harbor place for elites when the shit goes down at the Denver airport. What do you think about that? Because if you don't know,
I'm gonna go A because the elites have bought a bunch of property around it. It's 50 miles from Denver. They dug up way too much dirt for that stuff. I believe there's tunnels that go from one coast to the other. And so, and then now they're running with the conspiracy thing. I think it's an A.
Okay. Yeah. When the imagery in there, if you haven't seen it, go look it up. There's a bunch of Masonic imagery and like occult paint, like murals and stuff. It's bizarre. It took them years to build it, like way longer than it should have. There was a bunch of tunneling equipment that was seen around the airport. I put this one as a B, which means we're gonna have to flip a coin. Call it, Sam. What do you call it? I got a digital coin flipper right here.
So I called it an A. You called it a B.
We got to flip a coin on, and if you win the coin toss, it goes into your column.
It would be B.5, which is higher than B, so it's closer to A.
We're just flipping a coin. I want you to call a coin in the air, and then whoever wins the coin toss. I have it right here. Digital.
I'm gonna go heads.
Okay, here we go. I'm flipping it, and it's heads. You win, so that'll go into A. There we go. All right, so Denver Airport going into A. The next one is that aliens, as we know them, are demons, spiritual entities, something similar in nature to demons. What we know is aliens are actually spiritual entities.
I'm gonna go A on this. I think it's 100% angels and demons. I'm an angels and demons guy. Aleister Crowley even called it, and he's the wickedest man. He said they would be known as another name, which would be aliens. I still don't believe we traveled space. So I think space is fake and gay. So I'm going to go A. I would almost go S at this point, but again, I'm going to go A.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you, I think that some of them are aliens, physical beings from different places, and some of them are spiritual entities. So I would kind of put that as a C. I think we'll slot it into B. But yeah, I think they both exist, and people are conflating them oftentimes. Like the ones that people say look like kind of like Nordics, the Nordic ones. I think those are just aliens that, or maybe people from the future or something, but definitely physical beings. Okay, the next one is Hitler survived the war and lived out his life. He died at peace elsewhere in the world. Doesn't matter where, just that he survived the war and lived to an older age. It didn't die as we were told.
I'm almost an S on this.
Really?
Yeah, I'm almost an S, but I'll lean towards an A, but I'm pretty much an S. So I'm going to go with S. I think that's 100% true.
Okay. All right. See, I'm going to put this at C. I just think there's too much. There are too many diaries and contemporary accounts of his behavior in the bunker, his declining health, his there's accounts from his servants, from the handmaiden lady, like the assistant that was there, all saying that he was just ripping his hair out by the end and ready to end it all. We know that Goebbels the truest of all true believers, wouldn't have offed himself and his whole family if he thought that Hitler was going to live on. So I really find this one to be a D. So you put it at a S, which means it goes into the B tier. Yeah, I just don't believe Hitler's. I think anybody else, you could tell me that Martin Bormann survived. I totally believe that because we know he attempted to escape and that he had a plane ready, but not Hitler. Not Hitler, man.
Okay.
The next one is Skinwalker Ranch. It is the site of genuinely confounding spiritual, physical entities. What we hear about Skinwalker Ranch from the people, the conspiracy people, is true. What do you say on that one?
I'm gonna go S.
Okay. I was going to say
because my friend Ryan lives there, near there, and I believe Ryan Burns, and I think he's seen it. I think he's experienced it. I'm going S.
Okay, I put this one in the A tier because I'm saying like there's a 10% chance that it's some kind of government psyop kind of thing. They're hiding something else there. The government is that they just don't want people coming in. So they put up, they pass around these myths about the place. So that means we have to flip a coin to see who's going to get it. Call it in the air, Sam.
Tails.
It is tails. All right. That one's going to go in the S tier. You keep winning. Look at you. Psychic Sam. The next one is Patriots in Control. QAnon was someone in the government. QAnon is exactly what it was purported to be. Someone in the government who loved this country and wanted to get some information out to people and let them know that things are going to work out, and was telling the truth as far as they knew it. QAnon. What do you say?
Well, I'm going to go fittest flat earther because it was Operation Trust.
Yeah.
But it was telling us the truth. It's just not in the way that you describe it.
Well, some of it was truth. Most of it was stuff we already knew that was already out there, and it was just.
But that doesn't mean it's not the truth.
No, yeah. But then a lot of I think,
and it woke up a lot of people.
Okay, yeah, I think we agree on this one though. Fittest flat earther F for it being Patriots in Control. Lock her up, all that stuff. Lock her up was not true. That was a lie. They were never going to do that. So yeah, but anyway, we're at a point of agreement there. Finally, the next one is JFK. That incident was, as we keep hearing more and more now, was fake. JFK did not die on that day, but survived.
2 JFKs in here.
Yeah. This is the other one. JFK survived that day in Dallas and went on to live his life. I don't know.
And become Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, became Jimmy Carter, as AI suggests. When someone asked AI to make an older looking JFK and it looked just like Jimmy Carter, what would you say to that one?
Here's the thing. They could say he faked his assassination, but no one says RFK Sr. faked his assassination. So why would they take out one brother and not the other?
If you'd like to hear the rest of this episode, subscribe to Broken Simulation in your podcasting app or check us out at youtube.com/Sam Tripoli.
Go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Tinfoil hat.